All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Tuesday night bang chat. All right. Let me mute this.
That's all messed up.
Welcome, everybody. Gunny Grunt. Harley Thomas Blitz Fit. Captain Awesome. Queensland Copwatch.
Cappy's in the house. All messed up. I guess I'll go no hat.
And the Wolf's in here too. Wolfie Gladly.
Let me get the link in.
What's up, everybody?
Yes. Hello, my darlings from... Oops, I missed it. Hello, my darlings from Noli.
Yeah, Banyan Tree was the Airmen's Club on Kadena and had 3 different dance floors with 3 different types of music. I met a Corman girl there from Camp Lester. Played pool. It was a crazy night.
Scrolling up to the top here, I missed, let's see, we got Gunny, we said hi to Rogue.
Noli D.
QLD Copwatch, how's it going, buddy? We said hi to Michael Morehart, how's it going?
Thanks, HPR News. Bang that like, everyone. Pioneer in Florida, the inspector is here. Hey, Inspector, you want to jump in and talk?
Hello.
Go ahead.
Anyone wants to get in and jump in and chat with Rice Crispy or myself, or come in and just say hi to everybody, feel free.
Thanks, Michigan.
Oh, I gotta wear my
Rogue Nation
on the laptop.
Hey, Mama Tried. You don't have to put the video on, Inspector. You could just keep the video off. We can hear your story. That would be great.
HPR, what's up, buddy? Once again, here's the link. If anyone, I think this is the right link. If anyone wants to jump in. Oh, I don't know what happened.
Wi-Fi disconnected, maybe. I'm back now.
Well, while we're waiting, see if anyone wants to jump in. Let's. What do you think of? Obviously, lots of channels have already discussed it, shared it, played it. The one officer that decided to kind of go out and say, you know, hey guys, I think some of us are doing some stuff wrong. And then I saw there was a second video, actually, GA the Gladi Auditor shared it with us, I think, is the first time I saw it.
Yep.
Where there was another cop, it kind of was along the same lines, but wasn't quite the same. And he kind of came out and said some things as well that I thought were really good. And what do we think? Is this going to start being is this going to start trending? Is this going to be something we're going to start seeing? What do you think?
Hey, Lion One. What do you guys think? You know, we saw one cop lose his job over it, but we have Eyes on the State, who's keeping an eye on his GoFundMe page, and last he counted was $258,000. $258,933.
That's crazy.
I don't count other people's money, but that was great. Good for him.
Yeah, that was crazy. Good for him.
Yeah, he got that much.
Let's see if we can. I don't remember. He texted that to our phone, so I don't know how to call that up on our video.
Yeah,
Show that to everybody. Up to 273,000 according to John now. Yeah,
Dang.
I just looked maybe about an hour ago and it was 250 something.
Yeah. So we start doing this Tuesday night chat. Next week we're gonna have a couple other members from Bang that'll be on here to answer your questions, comments, agreements, disagreements. Anybody have any stories you want us to look into? I know we've heard from a guy in Plant City. We all heard from you, and we're gonna look into that. We're assigning a reporter to the case, to the story. Eric Price. Have we been to Pennsylvania? Is there a difference between a state and a commonwealth as far as auditing is concerned? I don't offer legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, but if I were to go to PA, I would definitely talk to a lawyer and learn the difference as far as that. I don't know. I know Wolfie Gladley's up there, and now the Resistance just joined him. The Resistance is out there every day putting in hard work, and Wolfie got to work with him recently, and they have some pretty banging videos up. Go to their channels, check them out.
Yeah. So Volusia County had a killing today. Is that I didn't see anything about that, Gunny. Was that like a cop involved shooting, or what are we talking about?
A little blurry. Fallujah County had a killing
Sorry.
today, huh?
I was yelling at the kids. I had to mute. What happened? Did Gunny say anything? I was gone for a second. I don't know about that, Gunny. You guys can hear me? Can you hear me, Finn?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we need a journalist who can put the people's voice out there, not cover for the government corruption. Exactly. Kind of like what happened to you. You need to tell us what happened to your brother. The guy was on the phone with first responders, and then they came in and said that he had rigor mortis, so they couldn't try life-saving steps. Basically, let him die.
Thomas in Plant City, welcome. Thanks for joining us. That's up. Where is that? Is that up in your neck of the woods there? I'm not sure exactly where Plant City is. Is that up in your neck of the woods? Captain Awesome, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us and coming in and saying hi.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Let's see, Noli D, love what you guys are doing. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thanks for your support, Nolan.
Noli's always in there supporting us. We always appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Not just us, but everybody in the community. Noli's always there.
No doxing. Oh, I doxed, didn't I? Sorry, HBR. I think I doxed you, rights, didn't I? I think at this point everybody knows our names. I don't think at this point I'm not too worried that everybody knows my name is Paul, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows Rights Crispy's name and everyone else's
Finn.
name.
George?
I am Sen from South Africa.
All right. So we got Wolfie Gladley popping in for a second.
What's up, guys? How you guys all doing?
What's up,
What's going on, Mr. Wolfie Gladley?
Hanging in there and inside my little man cave where I like to relax.
Right on.
So we've got somebody sitting down in the basement that wants to come in and have a quick little hello.
Bring him on in.
Joe Cool's
It's
here.
the it's not. It's almost the exact antithesis of Joe Cool. I would say it's pretty much the exact opposite of Joe Cool. So let's pop him in now. Now you're gonna play nice, or I'm kicking you out. Oops. There we go.
Yeah. I'll play nice. I'll play nice. Hey, I was just wondering, have you ladies figured out the charity fraud case against me yet? Have you solved that crime?
No, we want to ask you more about that, actually.
No, yeah, well, I was just wondering because I mean I provided some evidence for you. But
Yeah, I saw that video. I saw that video that you had a $200 what's the word I'm looking for? Donation, I guess, to the I don't know, was it Wounded Warriors or the police or something?
No,
Yeah.
it's the Chicago
I saw
Police
that.
Memorial Foundation. Well, I mean, you guys
The Memorial
kept saying,
Foundation. That's right.
right, and Fenton kept calling Massall and saying that he was going to provide this evidence. And when I first when I audited you guys in Fort Myers, Fenton kept saying, you know, that I'm a charity fraud. And I told him,
well, I had just learned about it that day. And the only evidence I have is you saying it on video that day. I don't obsess over you, bro. I don't care about you, so that I don't dig up dirt on you like a lot of people did.
Yeah, nobody's digging for information about Gary.
Yeah. You go into my service record from 25 years ago and take a shit on that. Tell everybody I stole valor when I didn't. I earned that title.
It's a public records request. I did a public records request, right?
Okay.
I did some investigative journalism, right? I'm a freelance journalist.
And you stuck at it because you had to correct it a few times and you still got it wrong.
Well, because I couldn't read. I can't. I mean, a lot of people
you don't know how to read, exactly.
How much meth?
Remember when you asked me on the phone? You asked me. You said, "Hey, how can I get to go off on a Tuesday and record?" And I told you, you don't have the skill set. You don't have the education, Gary.
How did you stay up all night outside of News Now South Florida's house, Gary? How much meth does it require? 2 hits, 3 hits?
You guys, you're gonna mute my mic? You're gonna be like that?
No,
we can hear you.
No, you guys were talking over each other. So now Rights Crispy is muted.
Right.
I'm an equal muting opportunity.
Well, why did you get discharged from the Army?
Okay, so why did you get discharged from the Army? Let's see if he wants to respond. I mean, that's kind of personal.
Yeah, I don't have to answer to you, bro.
Okay, so there's that.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
You're claiming to be this devil dog. You served a year in the United States Marine Corps. 7 months of it was trained.
A year and a half, I think.
A year and a half. 1 month in the brig, 7 months being trained, and what, 6, 7 months in Okinawa? And
I spent a year out there. I did my whole year tour. After I got out of the brig, I went back to my unit, and that's the part you still got wrong.
Right. You went back to your unit for what? I think like 2 weeks before you were sent
for the end of my tour.
First, I want to ask something. All right. Are you a veteran? Are you a veteran, Gary? Are you a veteran? Are you a veteran, Gary? That's what I'm asking.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I don't answer questions.
All right, so he's not a veteran, but he gets to sit here and tell a veteran about their service. It doesn't make sense.
No,
so
I think the United States served Fenton Vargas more than Fenton Vargas served the United States of America.
And your dim-witted catchphase will never take away what I did put in. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about because you talk about your work boots, but my work boots have seen more work than your entire life, bro.
What do
your
you think
fashion police ambush backfired on you because the captain looked up your charity fraud.
Where's the evidence?
And not to deflect, but you did commit charity fraud. You said you were trying to. You said it on film. You said I did that so I could get into a parade.
No, we sold shirts for the people that were going to attend the parade, and it cost $300 for the application to get into the parade. Plus, if you wanted to, hire anyone else as far as bagpipers or whatever for the parade that costed money.
Hey, Solo.
Wait. These shirts were blue line shirts, right?
Did they refund your $300 application fee after you were denied entrance or no?
I believe so. They did.
So then that would mean you're still 300. You're still 300 in the black.
That was out of my pocket. I paid the 300 out of my pocket.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if you looked at the T-shirt, I only raised $183.
Okay.
And I donated
They were
200.
cop support shirts. Cop support shirts.
It said,
bro, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you did. You're known to start fights with people and start riots. You're a professional provocateur, and I guess you're good at it.
Coming from somebody who goes to the post office and berates postal workers, and or a lady behind the desk at a police office, you demeanor her, you talk down to her like you have some authoritarian issue. I don't know what happened in the military.
You're a psychologist, man?
There's.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
He's so mad.
What you don't understand
give me a second.
is that you're a parasite. You try to attack my
parasite.
veteran status. I'm a veteran, and you want to take a shit on that.
Yeah.
Just so you could put it on your show.
Hey, thanks.
And then edit out all the parts that make you look stupid, except for the parts that you don't realize make you look stupid, and you leave those in.
A couple months.
Whenever you go and follow up for us, you're actually doing us a great favor. We're trying to get them to comply and stop resisting.
Right.
Follow the law.
It's pretty cool. You go in there and you actually do our job for us.
Exactly how we do it. And freak the people out even more.
If you don't do the right thing. So remember, and that's the point we're trying to get across anyway. So
you just admitted that it is a job for you, so you are getting paid, and this is what you do for a living. See, I already have a job, so I don't do this as a job. I'm not doing any job for you.
You know all of us work. What are you talking about? You know all of us work. You know what we all do.
We all have jobs, bro.
You all got jobs.
I have a job. And let me rewind. Let me rewind.
Why are you
for a
so
quick
focused
second.
on money?
Well, you were just focused on something else.
Counting everyone's money. I'm muting everybody except you, Gary.
Well, Fenton was just he was just talking.
I muted myself. I muted myself. I muted everybody but you and I, William. So I just want to rewind to one thing that you just said a second ago.
Well, out of everyone's
page,
out of everyone's page, I'm not asking for donations like you guys. There's no super chat.
I'm not asking for any donations.
Okay, Paul.
I don't have it. I don't have a PayPal or a fund me or anything. I don't have any of that.
No, you just invite people into your house who are sexual assaulters who just got out of prison or just got out of jail for a couple of months for sexually assaulting a woman. I mean, that's a good choice. Good choice of company for your house and your family. Yeah. Be around your children.
But that's not what you So you're bouncing around. You're bouncing around and you're not allowing.
You invite.
All right. So anyway, so let me respond to. I'll respond to one thing at a time, and that's cool. And I don't mind listening to what you have to say. So the first thing I'll say is to respond to is that you said that we go in and we incite people and we insult little old ladies and we go into post offices. Yes, I'll go in and I'll film public buildings such as post offices. But if you watch any of my videos, you won't see me in yelling at or swearing or cursing or yelling at little old ladies like you claim we all like to do. So that was my rebuttal to your first comment about that. So, do you have anything to add to that or no?
Yeah. Who are you holding accountable at a post office?
Any government employee that thinks that we can't go in and thinks that we can't observe how tax dollars get used is incorrect. And that's what you do in these, that's what I do in those audits. I go and make sure that they understand and the people that are in the post office. It's important for me, from my perspective, from my platform, it's important that the people, your average citizen understands that when you're in public, you can have somebody in there holding the building and the employees accountable, and you can get put on camera and flipping out and yelling and cursing at people isn't going to change that. That's the angle and the platform that I like to come from.
But don't you understand that a post office is something, it's somewhere where it's kind of creepy and it's kind of weird for someone to stand in the corner with a camera?
That's your subjective.
I don't know. It's one of the it's one of the government buildings that gets the most bailout.
You guys are trying to trigger people.
And the places that we've gone to have 2.5-star ratings probably every time. Check it out. You think they run smoothly? They don't.
I looked at every post office. Someone's going to bitch and give a post office a bad rating. Find me a post office with perfect rating and go in there and do your audit.
Listen, how do you know what's wrong with it if you don't look?
Because it's fucking creepy and it's weird.
I think your work, I think your work are
waiting outside my house for multiple hours for people to leave is kind of creepy.
There's nothing tyrannical. And you're trying to trigger people that are in there. There's regular citizens you're trying to trigger, and this is what you do in your videos. And when you get that one person, trust me, I know what you do. When you find that one person that's triggered, then you zoom in on them.
The first time we went to a post office, the people hadn't gotten their mail in 3 months.
Why do you follow people outside?
No.
Why do you follow people outside? Why do you get their tag and plate numbers? Why do you get in their face?
For posterity.
For content.
I can answer that. I can answer that. I can answer that.
For content. I
can answer that.
That's the good juicy.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you because you won't stop and let anyone else talk.
Correct.
So I can answer that for you, Gary. I can answer that for you, William. I'm sorry I keep calling you Gary. I know that's not your name. I apologize. I can answer that for you. When I find somebody like that, that's exactly why I'm there. I'm there to teach that person, and yeah, it's going to be usually in a bad way because they're being dicks. I'm there to teach them that they're wrong. There is no right to privacy in public. There is no, I have a right to my likeness and you can't put it on your camera. The people are insane when they think that, and I like to make sure that they understand when they leave that they're wrong. That's why I focus on them. That's why I'll follow them. That's why I'll put the camera on them. That's exactly what I'll do. And you're right.
So you're trying to prove a point can also be perceived as
absolutely
harassing somebody.
What do you think stalking somebody's house for 6 hours?
It's not by definition of the law. Yeah, not by definition of the law.
But following them in a car, calling them.
What you did by coming to my private road, that was
I wasn't on your private road. There's a public street. There's a public street that goes north and south. So if I'm on a public road in a public place,
31.
Then that's perfectly legal, right?
But you can't talk on the phone while you drive.
Absolutely. If you were out on 31.
There's no expectation.
If you were out on 31.
You're not allowed to talk on the phone while you drive. It's against the law.
I wasn't talking on the phone. Fucking
on a megaphone?
That is true. You were breaking the law.
No, I didn't use the megaphone. He never rolled his window down.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
how about
creepy,
this
man.
one? I got one for you.
You sat there and waited for somebody to leave this guy's house after 6 hours of watching his house.
Right.
That's not creepy, but hanging out in a fucking post office where the camera is.
Well, I'm an investigative journalist. I want to audit the auditor.
You're not an investigative journalist.
That's pretty weird, William.
You're a parasite.
It's creepy.
You're a parasite who hates freedom so much that you will shit on a veteran's record just with a dim-witted catchphrase and convince stupid people to follow you into that argument.
Let me speak for a minute.
Wait, I like this one. I like this one.
I'm a freelance journalist, and I'm going to audit the auditors.
All right, I'm muting everybody except you, Captain. Oops, hold on. I accidentally muted you, Captain. All right, I muted everybody except you, Captain. Go. Because this is a talk over each other panel, apparently.
Yeah. No, we don't want no talking over each other. We don't get the message that we need, and we need a message. Now, Gary, brother, I like your style. You're a funny guy. You make me laugh. It's ridiculous, but it's kind of funny. Now, what I want to know, before we get into a discussion with you on why we do what we do, I'd just like for you to qualify your experience and your knowledge of the First Amendment. Like, can you name some books or some legal documents that you've read in regards to just the First Amendment and the right to free press? Or are you just coming at us with the motion, you know, we're triggering people, it's creepy, you know, all these subjective terms that really mean nothing in the legal sense. You know, do you have some qualifications there for the First Amendment that you could speak from? Or again, is it just, you know, what you heard in high school about the First Amendment and, you know, going on some emotion and subjective feelings about what's normal and what's not normal? Okay, go ahead and go.
Okay. I don't answer questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in other words,
Captain, I thought that was a very well thought out question, and it's unfortunate.
Anything with you about the First Amendment? Yeah, I mean, how am I supposed to have a discussion with you if you can't even comprehend what's being laid down? I mean, that's just going to be a waste of time and everybody else's time.
I don't answer questions. I don't give my name. I don't answer questions.
That's really silly.
This,
really.
Unlike an audit, Gary, is a panel. Yeah, this is a panel where we want to talk and debate. We really don't need you here, brother.
Good. I'm gladly leave. Hey, how come you guys never put up the video that you guys took of me out here in Fort Myers?
I can answer that for you,
please,
if I may.
You may.
We didn't really care to give you a voice. We didn't find you important enough. We didn't find you important enough.
Like getting audited. You bitches didn't like.
No, honestly, it's that we just didn't feel like we wanted to give you that voice. And you weren't important enough for us to waste our time doing. And honestly, that's not what my channel is about. My channel is not about getting involved in this pettiness with each other. And I had other things to do. That's what it came down to.
3 o'clock in the morning on Easter Sunday morning. That's more.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking. I'm sorry. Sorry. Start over. I didn't know you were talking.
You were saying you got more important things to do, like going to the Fort Myers Police Department at 3 o'clock in the morning on Easter Sunday with someone who just got a.
Sorry, you don't ever stop, so I have to mute you to answer your questions. Yeah, absolutely. The going to the police station at 3 in the morning and the jail at 3 in the morning, that follows the narrative that I want my channel to be. I want my channel to be exposing, you know, government money and what it's doing. And government money gets spent at 3 in the morning, just like any other time.
Oh yeah, you and Glenn Sarah really were holding those police accountable. I mean, you just pretty much were just there at 3 o'clock in the morning harassing police officers. You're not holding anybody accountable. You guys are fraud.
You were watching.
When I woke up the next fucking day, you guys are fucking fake frauditors that go around harassing.
Why are you so upset, man? How much meth do you smoke, bro?
All right, I think I'm done. Yeah, okay, well, there's 4 of us in here.
You don't answer certain questions, and you can get the hell out of here.
He's not answering any. Yeah, he's not answering any questions anyway. He's just here to yell and swear, and so I'm a nay. I'm a nay. Wolfie, you're a nay. Where are you at, Rights?
Bounce out. You're.
The guy should have been a blowjob.
Okay, so he's a nay. So no, I didn't even have to kick him out. I didn't even have to kick him out. He left on his own accord.
I gave him a soundbite.
Good boy.
So did
Good
you.
Puppy.
I mean,
that was not me. Just for the record, that was not me that kicked him out. He left on his own accord.
What are you going to do? I mean, are you going to come in and rail at the sun because you don't like something that's perfectly legal? I mean, you know, this is part of the problem with a lot of Americans now is there's no common sense. I mean, the guy displays no kind of common sense. You want to rail about our First Amendment activities, but yet you won't even take the time to research the First Amendment or what it's about. You know, a lot of these trolls, they experience the same thing. Oh, you're not media, you're not press. Well, how do you know? When was the last time you looked up the intent of the First Amendment? Right. When was the last time you cracked open a 200-year-old law book and figured out what they thought was the First Amendment 250 years ago? They don't do that stuff. They're not that bright. All they can do is run on emotions and subjective feelings like, oh, that's creepy. No, what's creepy is your husband with only a mustache who's diddling your son late at night while you're fucked up on pills. That's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, listen, I can fully understand, and I'm not going to knock somebody like Gary or anybody else. What's up, San Joaquin? I'm not going to knock anybody like that truly in their heart feels like they don't like this or they don't agree with this, and that's fine, and that's their, as you've used a couple of times, Captain. Sorry, I almost said your real name. I don't think it matters. It's subjective, and that's fine. I'm not going to judge anybody's subjective opinion, but it's only based in subjective opinion. There's no, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, we could just have a regular discourse,
right? So that's fine. That's fine. Rights Crispy. I agree with you in some sense, but I'll say I disagree in some sense. This is okay. So it turned our conversation into what's the purpose of First Amendment auditing, and what's the validity to it, and how can we get the average citizen to understand why we do what we do. And
well, that's a very
Gary Snow was a good example of
uphill battle.
The ignorance that exists.
Very steep uphill battle, because you have. Oh wow! Here we go.
It's only to display,
because we're gonna try to educate the public servants, and if we were to educate the public, we'd be
we're not educating public servants. We're never going to educate public servants. All we can do is keep citizens aware of what public servants are doing. That's it. We're partly we really aren't really activists, because we kind of know that this type of behavior is never going to end. We don't have enough people doing this. We won't have enough people doing this. Maybe one of the end goals is so many people do this that maybe a change happens. But as of right now, I don't see a change happening with the behavior of law enforcement. But as long as they're going to continue to be corrupt and to display this type of foul misconduct that they do every day, as long as we just record it and keep reminding everybody that this is still going on, then that's enough of a job for us.
What's up, San Joaquin? OSU is asking, so why not do audit drug deals performed by schools, dropouts, and inform them of their constitutional rights? Okay. Why aren't we going to, audit drug deals?
Yeah, OSU is a troll who thinks it's our
yes, I can see that.
Yeah, why would I want to audit a drug deal, dude? Like, hey, that's a
trolls welcome.
That's a victimless crime. If somebody wants to consent to putting something in their body, and someone wants to consent into selling that person said subject,
what's up, Otto?
Then so be it, man. I don't care what you do with your life, Hey, Otto the Watchdog's in the house, man.
Yeah, what's up, Otto the Watchdog?
What's up, bro?
What OSU doesn't realize, though, is that we are trying to catch the drug dealers, and that's why we're at the police stations.
Right.
Exactly. That's where they are.
No, exactly. And I said this for the longest time when the customs area of a port, of a shipping port, catches a shipping container full of pounds and pounds of cocaine, and these people are oblivious. They're like, oh, we have an alert, we have to call the DEA, and then the DEA comes and takes it, and they think they're doing the good job, and they don't even know where they think it's gonna get destroyed somewhere or something. But that's the delivery. That's the delivery coming in. They know that it'll eventually end up in the federal government's hands, and then they'll take it from there. And everybody that does the whole operation thinks like, hey, I'm doing a good job. They go home, they tell their family, they're eating dinner. Hey, we did a big bust today. We got a lot of drugs off the streets. But that was the delivery for the streets. So, and it's things like that people don't think about every day, that maybe they should just kind of step back and just think. And when they watch these news stories, and try to calculate it the way that common sense makes,
Hey,
absolutely.
King had the perfect answer to that question. Why don't we film the drug dealers? We are actually.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly what Captain Awesome just said.
What's up, JD? Thank you.
Also,
Andy News, how's it going, buddy?
hey man, living the good life. Living the good life.
Right on, man. Right on.
Did anybody?
Thanks for joining us.
I jumped in. You guys had been going already, and did anybody question the dude about his gang colors that he was wearing?
He probably wouldn't have answered those questions. He doesn't.
No,
Yeah, he doesn't
it's
answer.
an incredible.
He gets on live panels to not answer questions.
Yeah, he
When
had,
he's not on-
he had his thin blue line gang flag on.
Yeah, on his profile pic, but so what?
Yes, he's. You know, we can only speculate, but I'm going to speculate that he wanted to be a cop and maybe couldn't make it in for some reason. I really don't know.
You know what? Maybe I should do what he did. Maybe I should sell blue line flag shirts on the streets to all the sheeple that bootlick. Like you're never going to teach them regardless anyways. They're always going to be a supporter. And just make a video about, haha, making a bunch of money off of you pigs.
He couldn't understand why we hadn't put out the video about him, but this is exactly why. We don't.
Yeah.
Just to show off. But that's what he did. He went out there and made a bunch of money off of cop support. He used bootlickers to make a bunch of money off of T-shirts. He's the biggest capitalist out there. Now he tries to capitalize and throw people's names in his titles.
We blew a gasket with that Ian guy.
I got no problem with capitalism, but I got a problem with inconsistency.
Me neither. But when you're sitting there going as far as putting Rights Crispy's name in like multiple titles, and one of them was just absurd. I don't even know why his name was in there. Like it didn't have nothing to do with Rights Crispy, really.
Obsessive is a good word.
Yeah, he's a weird guy, man.
Yeah,
something's wrong with.
You know, it occurred to me not too long ago. Actually, I chatted with Rights Crispy about this maybe a couple weeks ago. It occurred to me when you know there was a point where he was yelling about us benefiting from the First Amendment or getting money from the First Amendment or however he worded it. And it occurred to me that pretty much every time somebody uses one of the facets of the First Amendment, it's for capital gain. You know, it's freedom of speech. It might be your songs or your language in your book. You know, freedom of art. Your art. Freedom of speech might be your art. Freedom of the press. All of those news stations and newspapers and all those make money. Like
just remember YOLO. Remember YOLO? You only live once or whatever. It's all over T-shirts when it was popular. That's freedom of expression, freedom of speech.
Right. So yeah, just as funny. It's funny. His big hang up is that we're making money on the First Amendment.
Well, so what?
Somebody that says F cops on the shirt, you know, that's freedom of speech on a shirt, and you can make money doing that. I mean,
so gun stores,
Ice-T made a shitload of money on F the police.
So they don't think that that gun stores ought to make a profit because it's a Second Amendment protected. That's stupid.
Let's not try to make sense out of the senseless.
That's stupid.
Stupid is an understatement for that guy.
What's that? HPR?
Man, you're one idiot.
Thanks.
Listen, a lot of people don't understand what we do because again, they don't understand the basis of freedom. You know, the very tenets of freedom is not for you to just do whatever you want and not ever have any, repercussions for your actions of apathy. You know, it's not so you can vote every couple of years and then sit your ass on the couch munching fucking Doritos watching Survivor. You know, that's not what freedom's about. And that's what, a lot of these people think that, hey, we'll just elect these guys and they'll take care of our freedom and we can just go about our lives and, doing whatever we have to do to try to better our lives. But, pissing and shitting on everybody else, that's the way it is today. I mean, people aren't looking to help you out like, 50 or 100 years ago. You break down in somebody's house, you're liable to get shot. You're jogging in a neighborhood, you're liable to get shot. People aren't out there. Yeah, people ain't out there looking out for their fellow man anymore. It's pretty much get what I can before I can die. The man with the most toys wins mentality that we have out there now. You know, the keeping up with the Joneses, the buying new items to try to impress my friends and doing all that other stuff. And that's right up the lines of our, you know, our politicians. They're exactly the same way. They want the big house and the big car so they can, you know, and you know, that's what society is placed as being important now. And I guess I shouldn't say society, I should say, you know, the media that doesn't make any money. We're the only media, according to Gary Snow, that makes money off the First Amendment, because, you know, some of the richest men in the world don't own newspapers like Rupert Murdoch. You know, he made all his money selling lemonade at his lemonade stand. He never made no money off the news.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna summarize what you said with a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being. With freedom comes responsibility.
Right. And
of course.
And probably a more popular version of that was from Anton Wilson. With great freedom comes great responsibility.
Of course, yeah.
And he was actually paraphrasing Eleanor Roosevelt, but you know,
Eleanor Roosevelt on Marines said, "The Marines I have seen around the world have the cleanest bodies, the filthiest minds, the highest morale, the lowest morals of any group of animals I have ever seen. Thank God for the United States Marine Corps."
That's a great statement.
Hey, I want to go back on what Captain Awesome just said, though, about the First Amendment being used, about the First Amendment being used for monetary means, and all you have to do is look at all these news organizations: ABC Nightly News, NBC Nightly News, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all of those conglomerates, and you watch them. You watch them make as much money as they can off the misery of others. You watch them during Sandy Hook, when all those kids were shot dead. And people have their own things about that, and it's whatever. It happened. You know what I'm saying? It happened. There's no conspiracy about it. It's a seldom incident on its own. But to have a whole special for an hour and they make a big graphic on there, it's like the Sandy Hook massacre, the coronavirus pandemic.
There goes our fucking.
There's like
Anderson Cooper makes over.
You just flagged the fuck out of our video.
No, it didn't. There's no. There's a volcano going off in the background. It's so epic. Everybody's melting to death, right?
Hey, can I tag on to meaning of the press, the freedom of the press? It's not limited to any particular form or method of publication, but it extends to all modes of putting facts, views, and opinions before the public. Books, pamphlets, circulars, YouTube, etc.
Let me just
finish my point as much within it as the periodical issues.
Let me just finish my point real quick, and I'll be quiet.
Me too.
It was so quick. It's so quick. My point here is that if I go to a school where kids were shot at and killed, and I start recording it, and people start shaming me in the comments, "Oh, you're just going there to try to get views. The poor kids that got shot." But 3 squares down on the sidewalk, NBC News can be there with a reporter with a camera, a microphone, the whole setup, and they can make their money off it. And they're making a lot more money than anybody on YouTube. They're making straight cash from medicine companies, allergy medicine. You see the commercials that they play, soft drinks, all that stuff. They're making big time money off of the misery of these people. So for other people to come shame us that we're putting these people in such misery because we're holding a camera in these public places, and to ignore the fact that these news agencies are going to the movie theater where Batman was playing and the guy shot everybody in Colorado and stuff, and sitting outside there and cashing in off of the misery that happened that day, and what we're doing is wrong, and they accept what they're doing because they have a pass on their shirt. Get out of here, man. Like, you're phony. You need to reevaluate your life.
To put in perspective the kind of money we're talking about, Anderson Cooper, one of the hired hands, he gets paid $10 million a year. $10 million a year to do what he does. And
that's
he's not,
nothing to him.
Oh, yeah. He already got
yeah, the guy could go to the Biltmore in North Carolina and sleep in the room.
Yeah.
That's his house.
Yeah. So that's, and he's not the only one getting paid crazy money like that. So these networks, if they can pay them those kind of monies and they're making a profit after paying them, come on, who's in it for the money? It ain't you and me.
Money.
It's not
and
you
it's free.
Me.
It's free press. It's free press. And there's no copyright.
Right.
You're not getting a copyright to use people's misery. The Boston bombing. You know how much they milked that? I mean, they freaking talked about that for months. You know what I'm saying? That was all the misery of people who got their limbs blown off on a block, right?
Yeah.
In Boston, right? And at the misery of the officers who got shot at that the campus. I forget which one it is exactly. But yeah, so for us to just go in and some lady freaks out in the tax office and we're just a bad person because of it, or at a post office and shit. And these people, like I'm saying, it's not like we're going up and recording somebody who just got their arm freaking blown off or whatever.
Right. Yes. All good flaggable points. Perfect.
Shit ain't getting flat, man. This is a discussion about current events.
Hey, we just need the watch hours right now, so that's fine. What's up, Dr. Sean?
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc?
Hey, is there a way for me to stream this on my channel too?
Dr. Sean Berry's in the house. Let me go through these comments. Corey, grunt.
Is there a way for you to stream this on your channel?
Yeah, actually, Wolfie Gladly put out an example that actually happened in southeastern Pennsylvania. He went to the jail, and it was right when this stuff was happening in March, and there was the regular news on the sidewalk, and a mob of jail cops, like, pushing him way back across the parking lot back to his car.
Who?
Are you answering this thing? Are you talking about this?
Oh yeah, the Southeastern PA video. Yeah, man, it was terrible.
Yeah,
I was supposed to
beat up. The regular news was on the sidewalk there.
I felt bad.
Show the guys that know these jokes. Scroll up.
I'm glad that he was live for that, because that was crazy, man.
No, you were taking care of your mom that day.
GA, what am I looking for? Noli D. This? No. That one? I don't know. GA's telling me to scroll up and get a joke. Let me read what it says. Scroll up and show the guys. It went away. Where'd it go? Scroll up and show the guys Noli D's joke. Is it this?
Yeah,
we covered the cop who got fired.
Yeah.
He's up. How much is it up to?
I don't want to go too far about this cop that got fired, but I mean, we can just go off the guy's word. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I've seen some messed up stuff with the whole GoFundMe thing before.
He has almost $300,000.
This is not get ahead of ourselves too far yet. If this guy is true indeed, I definitely support everything that's happening right now. I'm sure everybody saw the GoFundMe thing where the homeless man gave up his last $20 because this lady ran out of gas, and then her and her husband and the homeless guy, or said homeless guy, were all working together. They all got like $500,000 out of that whole GoFundMe. So I'm just skeptical about things like that after seeing that story. People know which one I'm talking about. If anybody has heard about that story about the homeless guy who gave up his last $20,
he was actually a Marine too, and then it was the couple was in on it with him.
Yes.
Yeah, they all
and
like
they had a money
had a
dispute, and then they
yeah about
snitched on the
splitting
kid.
it up. The
Lawsuit
couple
over.
ran off with the money and left him high and dry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then he said, "Oh man, well, he snitched on everything. He snitched the whole thing out." So let's all be careful about things like that too. We never know exactly. Like, from what it looks like, the dude's legit. I mean, I couldn't really. My human lie detector, like Robert De Niro would say in Meet the Parents, like it looks legit. But always, it's scary when people start to just throw money at people when
I think he's legit.
Yeah.
I need to see records of him actually getting fired or actually had been working. You know what I'm saying? Like there, but yeah, it would be very
I
wrong,
think
and he'd face
he
a
legit
federal
got
charge.
fired because of the church thing. Once he said that was
That's
it.
what it was. Yep. As soon as I heard him say that, I said, "Wow, he really put his job on the line there."
So he had good, or they had good grounds to fire him. Well, what they call good grounds.
Well,
All right,
he's
so
got a
GA
better
wants
pension he's got a better pension right now than he would have ever had.
GA.
GA wants me to read this joke or something from Noli D. All right. So you will not believe what just happened. I walked into the store to get a drink. When I walked in, I noticed these two police officers watching some guy who was smoking while pumping gas. I saw him and I thought, this guy didn't have any common sense, and he was crazy. And was he crazy? With the cops right there too. But anyway, I went in and got my drink. As I was checking out, I heard someone screaming. So now I gotta scroll down. Hold on. I looked outside, and the dude's arm was on fire. He was swinging his arm and running around going crazy. I ran outside, and the cops had put him on the ground and were putting the fire out with their coffees. Yes, their coffees. Then put handcuffs on him, threw him in the police car. I was thinking he shouldn't have been smoking near the pump while getting gas. But being the nosy person that I am, I asked the cops what they were arresting him for. The cops looked at me dead in the eyes and said, waving a firearm. I can't believe I didn't see that coming.
I like the coffees. They put it out with their hot scalding coffees. I like that. That's what a cop would do too.
Of course they would. Waving their fire. I can't believe I didn't see that one coming. I was too concerned with making sure I didn't read like an idiot. So that's why I didn't see that coming.
All right, this guy was barreling down the road with a bunch of penguins in his car, and they flew by a cop and clocked him going like 80. So the cop follows him, pulls him over. He's like, "What the hell are you doing, man? What do you got these penguins in the car?" He goes, "Oh, I'm taking them to the zoo." He goes, "All right, well, get them there. I understand, but don't let me catch you again." But the next day, same thing, except they were all wearing sunglasses and convertible, barreling down the road 80. And the cop turns on his lights, pulls him over again. He's like, "What are you doing, man? I thought you said you were taking him to the zoo." I said, "Yeah, today we're going to the beach."
That other story reminded me of these kids that they had taken a big old cement block and wrapped a rope around it and had that rope wrapped around their arm. They were slinging it down over the bridge, over an overpass, the interstate, to scare cars. They had it high enough that it wouldn't hit the cars, but just scare them as they see this block coming at them. Well, they didn't judge it right, and a semi came through there, and they slung that down, and it caught the top of the semi, and it ripped the kid's arm completely off. And the police caught up the semi, and they ended up arresting the semi driver for armed robbery.
Yeah, San Joaquin, hop on in here, grab a Modelo pop, and come join us.
Hey,
I was gonna call you earlier, but I got wrapped up. I got a good phone call. I got good news I wanted to share with you.
So we said bring your own mask. How does everybody feel about wearing masks now? Does everybody feel like, oh, shun because you folded to the masters? Or do you realize a few months ago or a couple months ago we could feel awesome if we could wear a mask?
They won't let me get groceries without a mask, so I'm forced to have it with me. Well, I don't
I've
use
been
one of
wearing
those
a mask
goofy
since
looking
day one.
masks with the goes around the ears. Like you'll never see me with one of those stupid masks.
Right,
That's
no.
when I failed. When I wear the tinfoil hat mask. But I wear a shirt sleeve over my face. It covers my face. They just need you to cover your face when you go into grocery stores. You can't survive without eating. So I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
They won't let me eat if I don't wear a mask. So
I like
There's
what
no.
right. I like what you said the other day, and that is, before we would have gotten in trouble for wearing a mask, and now we can wear a mask and we can tell a cop to shove off and give us 6 feet. And the only reason I would wear a mask right now is to kind of stick it in their nose and be able to tell them to shove off. But
somebody
wear
said
their
got to
mask.
play this mask and distancing to the max. Thomas
Absolutely.
Malone. Shout out to Thomas
Yeah.
Malone for commenting.
We're working to
Yeah,
the point.
there's no
Where we're-
mandatory masks here where I'm at, and I haven't worn one, and I don't know. I don't have any issue. I haven't seen any issue. I haven't really been shunned
Dude,
in
if
any
you wear
way.
your cowboy hat and a bandana, that'd be awesome.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. Actually, you know what? You know what? Here in Arcadia, Florida, that might not look too strange.
Right.
we need germs. We need to share germs with each other to keep our immune system strong. Let's not forget that. We don't want our immune systems to drop completely.
Yeah.
Like
we need to cull the herd.
like getting sick is not bad. It reminds your body how to fight. It's a very people are very scared nowadays because of everything on TV. People, if you're 40 years old or 50 years old, you probably grew up on TV. And you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much, and what they tell you and what you hear and what's being fed in radio and don't be scared to get sick. Just try not to go around people that who have weak immune systems.
Eat dirt.
Don't try to infect people who could be like susceptible. Like don't distance yourself from people who are older and shit. If you're around, you need to get sick, man.
There's something going around that's killing people, not in the numbers that they're lying to us about, but people are dying of
that is true.
Their pre-existing conditions that get exacerbated by something that's going around.
Okay, so my daughter and son both are sick, and it could be COVID, it might not be COVID, and I don't really care. And I've got this meeting Friday with a teacher and a principal to help them set up a robotics program at their school. And the teacher is before becoming a teacher, she's a medical doctor and also has a PhD in biochemistry. And I told her, I said, look, I don't know where you are on all this, and where the principal is, but here's the situation. She's like, let's don't tell the principal because he's a hypochondriac, but we'll go ahead and have the meeting. I don't care. and she's a medical doctor and a biochemist. And she's like, we just need to be around this stuff. And I'm in agreement with her.
Yeah.
Jumped on, guys, to put my 2 cents on masks.
Hey, if you were, by the way, Jay, if you were down in the basement for a while, I apologize. I had to scroll down to see you, and I didn't realize.
Don't ever let that shit happen again. That's all.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, but when it comes to wearing masks, I've been wearing them like in grocery stores and places like that. But the reality of it is there's almost every profession out there is going to require people to wear masks in order to go back to work. So whether we want to or not, it seems like we're going to have to at some point. And I just don't get why I actually got a record request today looking for their policy on wearing masks from the police department. And the only thing that they sent me was basically their general orders on, dealing with bloodborne pathogens and all that kind of stuff. And the word mask was only in that general order one time, and it had to do with doing CPR using some kind of respiratory mask they have for that. But I don't get why they come in close contact with the public, but they're not required to wear them.
It's because they know that they have to keep their immune system fucking balanced.
If you want other people to see this conversation, hit the thumbs up. 53 watching, 37 likes.
Yeah, I understand that concept, but the misinformation that's going around and the conflicting information
38
kills.
Gunny Grunt has a case of Corona burp.
I like this, Noli. No.
That's the
I think
nasty
she's saying
part.
that we don't even have the desire to fight the misinformed anymore.
Thanks,
I like
Demonic.
that.
Demonic
What the classroom is doing tonight.
News Now, California.
News Now, California.
Not the classroom, and it's fine.
So what did Wolfie call it? A tinfoil mask?
The tinfoil mask, yeah.
I actually have one in our med kit in our bug out bag.
Here,
we have 4.
It was the entire
That's
thing.
weird.
Yeah, and I didn't call the fireman because I didn't want to get blamed for it.
What is that? What am I hearing? Who is that talking?
I took care of it. It was Rights Crispy's wife, I think.
No, it's in,
Man,
I think it's Indie News
Crispy's
Now, to
wife
be honest.
has a big mouth, man.
Oh, was it not Rights Crispy's? Let me see.
I think
Sorry,
well, I kept seeing
sorry,
background
Rights.
noise coming from him.
Big mouths.
Somebody
Is
was getting
GA
yelled at by
Where's
the
the
wife.
dishes coming from? Is that GA
That's
at work?
mine.
No, my
That's
wife
me.
is not that
No, it's not
terse.
It's not me.
Your wife needs to be more gentle when she does the dishes. Why is she so viciously attacking the dishes?
She was quite terse.
So what makes it a tinfoil mask? You said it goes behind your ears. That makes it a tinfoil mask?
No, it's like a tinfoil hat, man, pretty much. It's like everybody actually thinks this thing is actually saving lives of others. It's actually making things worse. It's a
No,
germ-catching machine.
I don't
Hey,
think that it's
fake
doing
news.
anything. I just think it's funny that just everything around it is funny to me because it makes no sense
It's
at all.
goofy. It's like we're watching it, but it's like we have to do it. It's like, but like to watch people with them outside while they're walking down sidewalks, like it's not bad to get fresh air. Like I could see if you're going into store, and you don't want to spread germs in the store. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's fine. And people have been doing that in other countries for years, and like over in Asia.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you for, Feck. We're going to do a story this weekend on 5G. And what was the other topic that we agreed on, Captain? Do you remember?
No, I'm not sure. I thought it was the lawsuits, the 1983 lawsuits, maybe.
There's somebody that's been in the comments that seems to be really interested. He's been talking all kind of nonsense
fake news.
About I guess
5G, and there was another topic.
Okay, so clearly the topic is supposed to be changed right now. But 5G, I don't even know about
to you, Feck.
I don't even know about the 5G topic. Like, yeah, it's supposed to give us cancer or something. I mean, everything gives us cancer.
So, but I was gonna say I've been reading articles on masks where they're basically like making references to, how back in the days people used to tell you respect your elders, so wear your mask and respect others.
Yes, they don't murder people's grandmothers and have to live with it for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because we're a bad person because we want to get germs. It's weird.
Hey, anybody that's over the age of 40, like myself, and all of you that are over the age of 40, I'm sure you remember when your sibling or your cousin or whoever got chicken pox. Your parents sent you over to their house so you could get chicken pox and get it over with.
Mm-hmm. To keep your immune system strong and to get it over with. Yeah.
Chicken pox, measles, mumps, all that. Yep.
And what that did was made your body stronger later in life. And now I don't want to say all these different things. It's clear that People don't like people talking about it online, but I don't even want to say the CDC and shit, you know, is gonna. They know that you need germs and stuff. I mean, come on. I'll just get that out. That's it. Yeah, I'll stop talking about it. But they know what they're doing could be detrimental.
Absolutely. All right, Tech and everybody else, that's enough. No more. Our 5G panel is Saturday, not today.
Right.
That's all good comments and all good points, but let's save it for Saturday. That's our topic Saturday.
5G. They want to
So
talk.
Wolfie, you're gonna have to study up a little bit and find out what all that is. You know.
Yeah,
50
because
people watching, 43 likes.
To me, I'm like, all right, so 4G, how much different is 5G from 4G, and why is it such a big topic? And I have heard a lot of people are making a big deal out of this 5G, so I do have to actually study that.
But this one goes to 11.
I got to bounce out of here, guys. Go work on some editing.
All right, GA.
All right, man. Can't wait to see it. What, can you give us a little sniffer?
Yeah.
What are you working on?
A sniffer.
Well, I had something. Yeah, that's odd. I had a couple cop watches kind of come my way yesterday, but then after getting the information about what I was actually out there cop watching, it revealed a whole kind of backstory to it. So now I gotta deal with the footage that I filmed, and then try to tell the story of like what's been going on up until that point to get everybody there where they were yesterday. So
it makes the edit 2 hours longer.
I hope it's not going to be that long. If anything, I'll have to cut it down into a couple, but I think I might be able to manage it without making it too long.
I'm saying that the edit, like the process, not the video.
Oh, well, I spent like an hour or two on it yesterday, just chopping clips up. Yeah, I just spent some time before here. Like, I think it's funny because I get a bunch of records back, and I have to do all this extra redacting that they didn't do that they should have done.
Remember, Corey's.
Yeah, in order to disseminate it to the public. Yeah.
Well, I mean, some stuff that I'd rather not reveal. I'm just trying to tell a story. I'm not trying to put people's names, like government names and all that shit out there, because it really doesn't have anything to add to it. And if people want to find out bad enough, the case numbers and stuff are all in there. They can go do their own research.
Right.
Yeah, that, trolls. We don't want to put
that's pretty much saying the trolls are pretty much on to trying to mess everything up for everybody. Take that, William Gary.
Yeah, I had to laugh when he was in here earlier talking about, public record. I do the public records requests. That's all shit that you learn from watching the guy.
But I don't know how to read it. Admittedly, he admitted he didn't know how to read it.
He goes in there. He goes, I want to let you know that here's a list of the names of the guys that come in here. They won't tell you their name. They film, but if you tell them that they can't do it, they will sue you, and they have. They
come in here doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, man. That's a great audit, dude. Like,
I'm gonna come in here and audit you guys and tell you to watch out for
they're less creepy about it.
You guys.
They're going to come in here. They're going to be way less creepy.
They're going to be way less creepier than me because I'm recording you, telling you that they come in here and do what I'm doing, but they can't do it, but they can, and they will sue you if you mess up. But here's their names.
That's enough of that. COVID-19.
Too funny. So anyway, Feck, where I'm trying to scroll up to read your whole name, but I can't find you. Feck News Organization. I sent you 4 of our emails. I cannot remember Eyes on the State's email because it doesn't have anything to do with his channel name.
Just records request at eyesonthestate.com.
Oh, okay. There you go. But there's the rest
request
of us
at
are in
Eyes
there.
on the State Deck.
Records request.
Yeah, that's the one that we like to put out for everyone. You put out the one that we were going to give you.
Yeah. So anyway, and
We
everybody's
have Bolt
email
Action
there.
News Group ones.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, so I just gave him every one of our channels.
Right on.
Between all those 5 emails, he should be able to send us what he needs to send us.
So
You
in the
got it,
comments, why do people think that the cops are so uneducated? I would like to see people's comment about that. Just want to throw that out there real quick. Why are they so uneducated about freedom laws?
And that's enough out of you, Captain Awesome. Nobody wants to hear your opinion, really. Stop.
What?
Captain
Come
Awesome been
on,
quiet
like give us
forever.
a Spicoli moment.
Yeah, the pizza's mine. No, what was your question, Wolfie? I missed it.
My question was for all the commenters and for you too. Why do you think that police officers are so ignorant, aka uneducated, about freedom laws? It's something I kind of knew the answer to, but I just wanted to kind of see what everybody else thought.
Well, in my opinion, it's because of what they believe, and what they believe is a non-questioning mind frame. So regardless of what they may think they know, when they have a belief saying whatever the government says is right and just, they're going to go with that. So if the governors say hey, we're going to lock these people down, and they're not allowed out or whatever, regardless about the little things they learned about freedom, which were possibly untrue to begin with in school, they're of the mindset that this is the authority and everything comes down from them. So they're looking at that as an ultimatum type thing. And again, it also has to deal with them not wanting to lose their paycheck, their pension, that sort of thing as well. So a lot of times people will overlook the beautiful lie, instead of facing the ugly truth. They'd much rather look at something that confirms what they already believe, and pretty much hope for the best. We're all hoping for the best. Right now at this time, in this moment, we're all hoping for the to get back, and for our jobs to get back, and for money to get back, because all we can see is the future that we have already planned out based on what we believe and will hope will happen. So that's why people that are preppers or survivalists, they have a saying that you could be physically prepared for the zombie apocalypse, but a lot of people aren't going to be mentally prepared for the zombie apocalypse, because a lot of people, they can't face what would be in that scenario. I've actually had people say that they would rather just kill themselves than live without the internet and TV and beer and whatever else have you not, because they can't fathom a life.
It's willful ignorance. It's
Right.
And that answers the question too. Is it's not just that police are uneducated; they are educated on the laws. They just have this willful ignorance to not rock the boat and protect their paycheck and each other's paychecks. So they'll back each other up
I
on
agree with that to
unlawful
an extent.
bullshit, revenue generating shit. There are a lot of stupid idiots too. Yeah.
Okay, so what about you, News Now South Florida? Why do you think the cops don't know about freedom laws? How they don't recognize them? They're ignorant to them. or uneducated, maybe.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if it's ignorance, and I don't know if it's uneducated. It's no secret that policing for profit is a real thing, and it's no secret that getting their way is getting safety for themselves, and getting their way is priority over any oath that they may have taken, or any protecting and serving, which even the Supreme Court has said they're under no obligation to protect us. So I don't know if it is ignorance. I don't know if it is uneducated. I think it's purposeful. I think they know that their promotions depend on their income generated by tickets and other bullshit. And when they don't get their way, they have qualified immunity. They can put us in a cage with very little ill effect. And that's kind of where I stand.
And most people don't fight back.
Right. See you later, Captain.
What about Captain was talking. What about Indy? Indy, what do you think? What is your opinion on that?
Having been a cop and gone through the academy, when I went through the academy, I actually got 3 credit hours for constitutional law, a 300 level class, and I came out of there pretty good understanding of what the laws were and what the rights were. But I think most officers, they come to the conclusion that it really doesn't matter, because the obstacles that are in place for somebody to make an issue of it are fairly high, and courts are sympathetic to police officers. And so it's an uphill battle to go against them. And then if they do lose, in most cases, they're going to have qualified immunity. So the expedient thing is to just go ahead and lock you up, or try to bluff you, threaten you with locking you up, and hoping that you'll go ahead and comply. That's more expedient than just letting you do it what you're legally allowed to do, because more people will be
most of the time just lock you up and have you fight that very expensive battle.
Arrest and then investigate.
It doesn't cost them money. If a police officer makes a bad arrest, it doesn't cost him money to fight it. He's got the union, he's got the city or state or whatever the agency to back him up and pay his court fees and provide his attorneys. So it's no skin off his back. And then if he loses, he's okay anyway.
I agree with everything all 4 of you said. And I just wanted to add this also. The police officers don't arrest people for crimes of freedom. They're not used to it. If you work at McDonald's and you're used to putting in a number 6 medium with a Coke, then you're used to that.
Thanks, Leslie.
That would be obstruction, disorderly, whatever they charge people with on a daily. You don't get to charge people for let's say, like 148G in California. 148A, obstruction all day, but G, meaning that a photographer can't be used as a reason as obstruction, and it's specifically about somebody filming the police. But they don't arrest them for that, so they'll never ever know about that subsection.
Right.
Like, that's just an instance that I remember in my time doing this. Cops just looking at each other saying, "No, what's G?" And I was bewildered. That's when my whole brain turned around and said, that's what it is. These cops don't arrest people for freedom, because freedom's not illegal. So they have no clue what freedom is. They only know what to pin a charge against you is.
That's a good point, Wolfie. They only know what's arrestable. They only know what is wrong. They don't know what's right. I like that.
And it combines with everything you guys said. I agree with everything you guys said, too. All of that, plus they don't know what freedom is. Like, because they don't arrest people for freedom. It's not part of their job. Like, it's like that one part of your job that you never had to do, so you don't know nothing about it.
Yep.
It's like you work at a warehouse for all these years. There's a defibrillator on the wall, but nobody's ever had like a heart attack. So you never had to use the defibrillator, you know, and you forgot how to use it. They trained you like 15 years ago when you started there, how to use the damn thing, you know. But I mean, it's a kind of a shitty example because defibrillators are pretty much self-explanatory. But people, I hope that people understand what I'm saying. In case of a disaster event, you'd have to push these buttons and shut things down, but the disaster event never happens. So when the shit happens, when you panic because you don't remember, because you never ever had to go through it.
Right. They only know the sequence of buttons to keep the machine running. They don't know the sequence of buttons to stop the machine.
Right.
No, I get it. And that's very metaphorical, what I just said. You know, that you're speaking specifically about an actual machine, but that was very metaphorical as well. You know, we as a society know the sequence of buttons to push to keep life status quo. We don't necessarily know the sequence of buttons to change things and to make life, you know, altered from the status quo.
Yeah, and the same goes for the sheep. Like, we don't mean to call the people sheep. They're just the unwoken, right? The unwoken only know the buttons of comfort and security. As long as I can go home and play, like Rogue was saying earlier, as long as I can go home and play on my iPad that I do for my enjoyment after I come home from work, I will gladly submit over my rights to this officer because I'm not doing anything wrong. Here's my ID. I just want to go home to my comfort, you know, and I don't want to stand up for my rights. So those people don't recognize why we do what we do because they're so used to the buttons of comfort and their machine.
Well, Wolfie, I think you've got a good point. You just like sound went out.
No, you're good.
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, Wolfie, I was going to say the point to your point about the out of their comfort zone and out of the things they don't do all the time. The military during the Cold War, they wanted to make sure that wasn't the situation with nuclear weapons because it's not like we shoot those off all the time. So the code for them was just a bunch of zeros. That was a security code for a long time.
Because you'd panic and you wouldn't remember because you don't have to use it all the time. It makes total sense.
It wasn't until recently that they've started upgrading the equipment. They've been running on computers with the big, not the 5.25 inch floppies, but the big 8 something or other inch floppies.
Yeah,
they got old equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That just reminded me of the scene. That just reminded me of the scene in Spaceballs where they give the code to the atmosphere shield. 1,
the same as his luggage.
2, 3, 4. It's like, what kind of idiot would have that code?
Exactly.
And then Mel Brooks is like, "That's the same code. It's on my luggage."
And then everyone's like, "Oh." That's funny as shit. So
I love
just
that
a
movie.
bunch of zeros.
Make those movies today. I mean, can you imagine trying to make Blazing Saddles today?
Oh yeah, you couldn't. There's too much political, too much. You couldn't do it.
You can't make the movies from the late 80s, man. That just the 80s alone, all the 80s, man.
Yeah.
We're in early 90s a little bit. We're just so good.
Yeah. The Three Amigos. The Three Amigos is another good one that's got so much, undertone of
Fletch,
Hispanic and white, race stuff, and it's funny as hell.
Who said Fletch?
Sure
Somebody say Fletch.
Fletch too. Those are two great movies.
Yeah, Fletch lives.
What I missed?
Fletch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fletch
Dr.
lives. Yeah. What's that right?
Termites. They multiply.
Dr. Coctosin. I loved when he showed up in the Ku Klux Klan outfit and was like, I went to I was going to go to the Rotary Club meeting, but there was nobody there, so I just came here.
Your partner's wife says,
Saddles came out in 1974.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's more serious.
Different time back then.
It's pretty cool. Is the Black Klansman. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's based on a true story. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the guy who collects Klan robes.
The black guy who infiltrated the Klan as an undercover,
and he's still trying to convert them every day.
Yeah, and then there's another guy who actually, a black guy who it became friends with one of the leaders of the Klan, and he did a TED talk on it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, you don't make friends with your friends. Yes, Nolly D, that is a great one.
I want to go back to line 1. Said something pretty good too up here.
I was gone. What'd I miss?
I'm scrolling. I'm looking for it. Let's see.
They don't understand contrast. Where was it? Really, the whole thing.
Right here. This one. Yeah, I understand it. Well, they don't understand contrast, and to understand contrast, it must be all examined. It must all be examined.
Mm-hmm. For cops, they don't understand exactly the big picture. They don't look at the big picture at all, which is a big major problem with the police. It's becoming a deficit. It's becoming a liability to not just like the taxpayer, but just to people, just to the society, the citizens. Just saw another young black kid was shot in the back. This week, and then last week there was some guy getting punched in the ribs and shit repeatedly while he was handcuffed for a half hour in LA. Police activity, I believe. News Now California put me on. I didn't get to watch the video yet, but I will. Got the body cam footage of the attack on this guy. 30 seconds of just pounding on this dude. Like reckless thug pounding from this cop on this guy.
Yeah, I shared the viewer from across the street who recorded it. I shared their video about a week ago, right before the one in Pasco County happened.
And another one in Pasco County, like,
yeah.
And that's a big shocker right there, Pasco County.
Shocker. Shout out to Southeastern PA.
Shout out to Southeastern PA. Shocker. Yeah. It sticks with me now because I hear him say it so much.
Me too.
He's not
he brought
shocked.
It back.
He's not shocked by much that he hears about these cops.
And everybody that says, "Oh, you're fighting a war that's already lost," yeah, but what are we supposed to do, man? Like,
hello,
sit
Pear.
back and take it.
Lay down and die.
Yeah.
You're supposed to lay down and die, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to just lay down and take it.
Yeah,
it's like a gentle assault.
Goodbye.
A gentle assault. I don't want to use the R word because it would be disrespectful to actual people who've been R'd. But it's like sit back and take it, and it'll be over with, and I won't kill you while I do it.
Hey, Pierre Fluellen.
Look at this. Look at this guy right here, this HPR guy. Look at him. He looks like he's just going to lay down and die, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks like he's just going to
Hell no, right,
and comply.
Hell no.
HPR, yep. HPR is willing to stand up.
Got to respect the beard, man. Got to respect the beard.
Right on.
Hell no, he ain't going to lay down and die.
But the big fight is we have to get people on board with standing up for their rights. That's the toughest battle in this whole thing. If we can't do that, all we can merely do is just record the ruckus.
That's right. Save the Humans is calling you Santa, Indy.
Yeah, I guess I've earned the nickname of Crippled Santa on one of Hoosier News Now's videos. I'm missing a leg, so call me Crippled Santa. I might use that the way Captain Awesome.
Have you ever been a mall Santa?
No, I haven't. I think it might be fun just to tell the kids, hey, the last time I went down the chimney, I ended up burning my leg off. So be sure to leave your door unlocked. I'm thinking that might get me in trouble, but I think it'd be worth it.
You have glitter bricks in the background.
Do you think if they ever like denied you, you could get like a lawsuit, like you guys were discriminating on me because I don't have a lap for each, like a brother and a sister?
That would be interesting.
See that? Save the Human wants
lap
the naughty
discrimination,
list.
leg discrimination.
Well, I've got both laps. It's just the lower part of my left leg that's gone.
Hey man, much love to you, dude. Man, that's a lot of
yes, sir.
You're stronger than I am, dude. Like I don't,
It beats working for a living.
Thanks for coming over to the light side of
your
things.
brain's gonna go.
I know that
when,
get all
when
that
things
good
like that
parking at Christmas time. I'd have cut off part of my leg a long time ago.
happen.
You get the perks,
Yeah, you get the good
There you
perks.
go. Here you go.
Handicap parking spot.
JD says Santa should hand out a constitution. I like
Yeah,
it.
boy.
It's a great idea, JD.
This is a good idea. I think I'm going to get a bunch of the sample size bottles of or tubes of Preparation H, wrap them up with a little ribbon on them, and hand those out when people get butt hurt. Say, here's your gift from Santa.
Yeah, they need them. They need extra. They should have one in every unit.
Yeah. Here's your.
Hey, but I see the Just Us Files is putting up some case Cobbs versus Grant, 1972.
Yeah, I saw that too. I read it real quick. He's talking about a bunch of medical stuff here. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm trying to look at it.
Each person has a right to determine the scope of his own medical treatment. It's well established in the state. Yeah, you can deny medical treatment at any time.
Yeah. Unless they force us to take COVID-19 vaccines.
This thing keeps popping off.
We'll see that coming, probably just us. Thomas, thanks for joining us. What do you got a beef on WEC? What's going on? Nice. You talking to me, babe? Oh.
Yeah, if they want to force vaccines, I'll let them inject them in. I'll let them inject it into my prosthetic.
Wait, that wouldn't do any good.
Exactly.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. I like it.
Oh, Portillo's in Brandon. I remember when we lost the Stanley Cup to them, but they gave us a Portillo's here in Brandon. That's awesome. Good job, Tommy.
Oh, that's right up in your neck of the woods, isn't it?
Yeah. It's Eyes on the State's neck of the woods too.
Portillo's, what's that? Restaurant?
That's a Chicago hot doggery.
A hot dog? Chicago has a hot dog thing?
I guess so. Yep. But they got a bunch of stuff there too.
Yeah, they got that deep dish pizza. I'm not a big fan of the deep dish pizza. Sorry, everyone that likes deep dish.
Me neither. It's like a bowl of hot mess.
Yeah.
Hey, but
I'm a New York guy, so.
Me too. Thin crust. Like
Thomas is in Lake Wales.
Yep.
What was I? I was just looking at something up in Lake Wales.
But
I think I need to go up there and do an audit. I was reading something and I can't remember off the top of my head right now what it was, but I think I might have to go up there and do an audit.
How about 760.51, which I have to thank a commenter for bringing to my attention. It's the Florida version of the Bain Act, like they have in California, where they're not allowed to stop you from recording. So if there are any Florida auditors watching,
what was the statute again? 760.51.
76150.
No,
right?
760.51.
Oh, 0.51. Okay.
Yeah.
760.51.
Florida statute 760.51. So we'll have to go check it out.
Discrimination in the treatment of persons, minority representation,
And
violations
in any
of
other state,
constitutional rights, civil action by the Attorney General, civil. Whenever any person, whether or not acting under color of law, interferes by threats, intimidation, or coercion, or attempts to interfere by threats, intimidation, or coercion with the exercise or enjoyment by any other person of rights secured by the state constitution or laws of this state, the Attorney General may bring civil or administrative action for damages and for injunctive or other appropriate relief for violations of the rights secured. Any damages recovered under this section shall accrue to the injured person. The civil action shall be brought in the name of the state and may be brought on behalf of the injured person. The Attorney General is entitled to an award of reasonable attorney's fees and costs if the Department of Legal Affairs prevails in an action brought under this section. Did you guys get that? So basically, if
we got all
somebody violates your rights under color of law or not, threatens you, you can, have the Attorney General bring a case against them.
The problem is that will the Attorney General actually do it? Because there's too much discretion on the Attorney General's part on that.
Yeah, well,
in any other state
they want to get reelected.
You're in, any other state that you're in, that is prior restraint, and there'll probably be a law just like that for your state. So look it up and make sure if you're going to go out and do this, and just so you don't sound like a dummy when you start shouting stuff out.
And talk to an attorney. We're not lawyers. We don't give legal advice.
Just say prior restraint. Prior restraint's going to be across the whole country. That's a case law that covers that.
Right, like a flashlight or somebody blocking your vision of a news event.
Anything to block the dissemination of public interest information.
Right. I just want everybody that watches, like I know a lot of people watch other channels out in California and stuff, and they have the Bain Act. The Bain Act is just a California law, just as the law stated by Rights Crispy right now, 760.51. Is just for Florida, so don't go flashing that around in another state, because another cop that might actually know the law will be like, "What the hell is that? You're wrong. That's a different state." And
this is a Florida statute.
Thank you, but Facebook kind of like blocked me from logging in. I had a respectable presence and got a bunch of people, liking the Rights Crispy Facebook page, but then it wanted me to, dox myself, and I guess you have to sign in with your real name and make that visible to everybody. I'm not going to make it easy on trolls. We are private people. We're not public servants. And yeah, you might know our names, but again, it's not Tommy, you're right. I thought you were eating ribs.
But then again, Facebook's not a private a public company. They're private, the private little business.
Right. And we all signed up for that shit.
Just like YouTube, people say, "Oh, you disrespect freedom of speech. Amendment. You're not respecting the First Amendment, freedom of speech in the comments." We don't have to respect the freedom of speech in the comments. First off, we don't have the freedom of speech on YouTube. YouTube doesn't give us that freedom of speech. Like, we can't go and say whatever the hell we want on here. Like, we don't have the freedom of speech that a white supremacist channel couldn't come on YouTube, right? And we couldn't come on YouTube and spread any kind of message that YouTube just doesn't find acceptable. Whether it's talking about the current sensitive subject that's going on across the nation right now, by letter C, or anything else.
It's not that I'm avoiding it.
So if you it's the same thing. Like, if you come into my house, into my living room, and you call my wife a cunt or something like that, I'm kicking your ass the fuck out. You're lucky you don't get your ass beat, right? You don't have freedom of speech in my house. And by it being my house, it's my rented apartment on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have freedom there either, because I'm fucking that's my landlord. You know what I'm saying? So I have to abide by my landlord's guidelines. If you're coming on saying some edgy stuff or racist stuff or whatever, like yeah, that's freedom of speech in America on the sidewalk, but it's not it's not in this house. It isn't.
Yeah, Save the Humans. That's why I haven't. If you sent any messages on Messenger, I haven't been able. Last thing I remember sending you before they. It's not that I'm avoiding it. I just couldn't log in anymore. They said some shit about spam or whatever. I'm like, I'm not a spammer. I just have disturbed people who hate freedom so much.
They find
Attack
every
us.
way they can to sit outside
Yeah.
your house and follow you around.
Yeah.
Or make your life a living hell by doing everything they can to disrupt what you're doing and what your focus is.
Yeah. And to those people, can you hear this? You want me to turn it up?
Could you turn it up for me, please?
It's pathetic, man. Pisses
It
me
is.
off that
It
people
is.
have
It's
that much hatred
parasitic.
in their life,
Really.
in their heart. I can do a video about child protective services, and then I can have haters in there saying I'm just trying to provoke a response and blah 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 blah. Like, no, dude. Like, you don't understand the big picture here. What you're really that far hell bent that you can't sympathize with these kids? That's what's happening in this place.
In fact, another thing is, it's not that it's a privacy, but it was, and then they just like blocked me from being able to get in. Like today, I'd probably be like, "Fuck it," but can't get in now.
I did this. I did my whole channel operating at a loss for a year, dude. Operating at a loss doing this shit for a year, dude. Like, there's people that are in this doing this. Look, people
Yeah,
act
I'm not.
out of hand, and then things get funny, and I have some fun with it, and I bring some entertainment value to it. You want to call it this? We're trying to, be
We're
jerks or
telling a
something like
story.
that. I mean, you call it what it is, but what I do is I report. I report what happens.
We're telling a story, and a lot of people want to watch it, and people who don't want to watch it even more because they're waiting for us to mess up. And you know what? We're conducting our civic duty, and you don't want to buy it. Okay, show up and keep trying to fight it, and look at the low steps you've taken to try to stop it. It's just, that's, again, this is all for posterity. It's going down. That guy who cussed out that old lady for telling him Merry Christmas, we followed him outside, yeah, because he was calling the cops on us. We want to make sure that he doesn't lie to them about us. We want to have our record, because they'll delete that part of the phone call. It's and we don't have to like try to explain that, because we're not going to convince people who are unconvincible because of your hatred that you have to find within. We're here to show other people who are like-minded that they're not alone. Like Leslie Sylvan. Noli
Like
D.
Leslie Sylvan always stands up. Noli D always stands up. HPR. I mean,
HPR News.
the names that of the loyal people who are aware in this movement. That's what I do this shit for. I don't care about all those trolls. People like Lion One, people like Save the Humans, Thomas Malone. Keep up the fight.
Yeah, I put up stuff. I have a bunch of stuff here. Still, I've crossed off some, but I still have a bunch of stuff here that I haven't put up on video.
I got
Some
tons of stuff.
passes, some just messed up stuff. And that's just me. And I got started doing this because I got tired of seeing it every single day from sea to shining sea. People recording our government officials just not just ignorant about camera laws, but just so ready to have someone thrown in jail and arrested and tased and shoved up against the wall, or just because of words, you know? And words are, you know, that this is what we have, freedom of speech, and we're telling a story. Like, it's not a bad story, it's a true story. And however you take it, that's what makes it art, and what makes it you know, something that we put on YouTube. So don't knock it, because you're doing the same thing. That's what you were saying about the First Amendment, right? News Now South Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Sorry,
somebody makes a painting.
I was laughing at this comment. God, he's military. Laugh out loud. He's got a dry board.
Oh,
Say the humans was making fun of you there. That was pretty funny.
See,
No,
the
yeah,
human, I
that's
have my
exactly.
flight log also for the drone. I keep an actual flight log for that.
Yeah. Right on, Leslie.
It's like I got so wrapped up in this that I have videos that I have from that I found, like I didn't even remember I had, like 10 or 15 like back videos that I'm like, all right, it has to be seen. I did it, and I'm gonna show it. You know, but it's a pass. It's not a pass. Whatever. Say, oh, this was boring or whatever. Sorry, dude. Like, you're gonna find some really messed up ones in there somewhere too, and you're gonna find some ones that you like, that you think are funny. You're gonna find some ones that infuriate you. But yeah, you're gonna find everything that I see. I'm gonna show everything. I'm gonna show people who passed. It's the bottom line. I won't drag you along and be like, you won't believe this video, and it just be a pass. But it'll be there. You know, like today's video I put up. Like, that shit's from August last year. I didn't even know what to do with it. And then I forgot I had it. Then I was like, let me clean my computer. And then I found all these files. And I was like, damn, okay, all these files are taking up space. I was like, oh, I'll show them to everybody. I'll get them out the way.
Yeah.
But then then we still film while this happens. So, and then we get judged for that shit too. Like, oh, this video is old. I saw this on that person's channel. So what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Keep Up the Fight says cameras are everywhere, all around you, following you all. Shake my head. Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm with you, Wolfie. I've got old footage that's just sitting in my computer from old audits, some with rights and some with other people. And maybe one of the two people already put that video out 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago.
right.
But I'm about full disclosure as well.
Well, it's not even about disclosure. It's my journal. Like, it's for me. Like, when I make my edit, I'm not making my edit. Like, I want everybody to be like satisfied with it and think, man, you put that together well. But I want me to think I put it together well, because it's for me. It's a little diary of videos of my time doing this for as long as I do it. And you know what I mean? Which I don't see it into at any given moment right now. But as long as I'm doing this, I want to be able to look back on this far after, when I'm not able to walk anymore or something, and say, man, that was such a good time. And Rights Crispy and News Now South Florida and I were all stomping around protecting our rights and shit, man. What a movement that happened then.
Here's what I want you to say. Here's what I want you to say in one of those memories. I want you to say, man, that was funny when News Now South Florida pretended to get trapped inside of the police tape, and you didn't know which way to go to get out.
Dude, that was that you know what? That was really funny, and that freaking topped in there at about the memory in Sacramento with San Joaquin and N2 Film and Nate Skates and Tulare County Copwatch. We were all up in Sacramento, and we were crossing the street, and N2 Film was in his electric wheelchair because he can't really walk too far. Like, he can walk for short distances, but he knew he was going to be out all day, so he brought his electric mobility. So he was out there with his girlfriend on his lap, or one of his girls, whatever, and she had her dress hanging, and he was telling her, pretend that your dress is caught in the wheel. And this cop was at the stoplight trying to make a right-hand turn and turn signal on and everything. And he's like in the street just a little bit, but he's like, wait a minute, wait. And he's pointing at the skirt and the wheel, and he's saying, pretend to try to get it out, pretend to try to get it out. And we're wasting the whole green light for this guy. And finally, like, she pretends and she gets it out, and then they start going. And then we're all busting up laughing, crossing the street, and this guy has to wait because it's a no turn on red. And man, it was funny, dude. That's in an old video that everybody would have to see, like the way he punked this cop so hard. And they didn't even know we were with them because we were next to the cop recording the cop while he's over there stuck in the street. It was great, man. It was very similar to your situation where you were like, I'm trapped inside the police tape. How do I get out? They're trapping me in here.
It says do not cross. That was funny. And then the cop walked over and lifted it up for me. He's like, you can go, sir. You can cross this line. But it says do not cross. That was funny. It was an unfortunate situation why we were there doing a video that we later found out. But
really good memories.
But that was
another
funny.
good memory. Another good memory I'll never forget. When we were at Miramar, and it was after we talked to McGirt, and I was with Rights Crispy, and we were walking, and we were trying to get the name of the supervisor to find out which supervisor told McGirt not to talk to us about anything. And then they were like, no, I'm not doing this. And they started walking off and going inside, and Rights Crispy and I were following them. And Rights Crispy was right on this cop's heels. Like this dude, you could probably feel each other's body heat. That's how close Rights Crispy followed him all the way to the authorized door. And I'll never forget that shit was intense. I thought at any given moment, this dude's going to turn around and just yoke him up, yo. Like, it didn't happen. I was like, wow, dude, that was crazy. Then we come outside and Big Nick's yelling at that dude and the tow people. And
at the tow truck. Yeah, that's the same video I'm talking about too. That's funny. So any of you guys who are watching this panel right now that are curious what we're reminiscing about, I think for sure Wolfie and myself, I think Rights Crispy, we all have a video that has something to do with the tow truck guy yelling in Miramar, Florida. You should go check those out, those different perspectives out.
I haven't put mine out yet.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if you had yours.
Those cars from the Miramar
Big Nick, South Florida has a video. Yeah, Big Nick, South Florida has a video out of it. I can't remember what he called it. Mine's called like Mad Tow Truck Guy Yelling, and Wolfie's got one out, and
yeah. Mine's called funny. Like Tow Truck Driver Upsets Big Nick Candles It or something, or some shit like that.
Here, I found it.
Very, very insightful, Feck. Very insightful. I like that. HPR must have watched those. He thinks that was hilarious. Nice. Ronald, you saw those. That's nice. Yeah. Is that where I wouldn't get out of the tape perimeter? That's correct. That's right, HPR. They were putting up the tape right in front of us, and they were kind of being slow about it. So I ran really quickly around to the other side and got inside of what they were trying to tape off. And then they taped it off the rest of the way. So I was effectively taped in. And I was walking around all confused. Oh, there you go. I was walking around all confused.
Yeah, he had his cowboy hat on, so they thought he was just a bootlicker, so he was okay to be behind the tape.
How do I make your screen the big screen? I don't know how to make that screen the big screen. Oh, you know what? I don't know how to do it. Oh, here we go.
That's Dirk McGirt.
McGirt. Let's see what we got here.
I can't talk to you guys. Oh, okay.
What's your sergeant's name, sir? Hey, Kurt.
There goes his sergeant. He made good his escape.
Yep.
And there's the wolf.
Officer, can you please
Wolf.
call your supervisor? Yes, please call your supervisor. I want to know why he told you that. You don't have to answer any questions. Just call him, please.
That was GA. The Gladiator auditor was there. I think I saw News Now California there.
So you're denying his service? It's a simple request.
Look at this ignorance.
We're being cordial. We just want you to call.
This is them being scared.
We just want to talk to your supervisor.
Stop resisting.
Stop resisting.
Thank you.
See, we didn't know what this was about. They shot people on the highway and they killed that UPS driver too.
Oh, there I am.
Look at News Now South Florida back there.
There I am.
Help.
So,
But don't invent things.
so he taped off the area and I'm coming around the other side.
What happened to Sergeant?
Look at him.
Sergeant McKenna?
Look at. Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at.
Making fun of me. Look at him right behind him. Talk about a lack of situational awareness.
I went to jail for that, bro. I went to jail for just that. For less than that.
They think they messed you up by keeping you in the Crown Vic. That's the best car you guys got. That's the best car you got.
The Crown Victoria is a far superior car than the Challenge.
Dirt McGirt. I love this guy, dude. This guy, but I don't blame him because they killed people on that highway.
Here comes the tape. All right, so here's where I ran around the other side. So he started taping it up, and I ran around the other side again.
Look at him over there.
There I am, way over there. Pause it right there. Pause it. That's me right there, way over there.
He works his way towards the cameras.
Who drives that Bentley?
Right, as a former cop, I got to tell you, I like the Chevy
East are
Caprice
friends.
better than the Crown Vic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from a performance standpoint on the road as a cop, better cop car.
I think that guy in the Bentley is talking.
Rights is in.
All right.
Is this your angle, right?
Yeah.
Hey, good job. $250 of time wasted right there.
He finished putting up the tape. And I think you're still in there, right?
I don't know. I think I've escaped.
No. You escaped by this point. Yeah.
This lady actually said something.
What a great time working with Big Nick.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
This is against Latinos.
He's racist against Latinos. He gave Big Nick a handshake and gaffed me off.
I don't want to do it. Something like tape between the car and the truck. I'll stay in the.
Go back one more click. Go back one more click.
Bootlegger, and I don't want to be
No, more.
Here we go. I'm on the wrong side of the tape.
How do I get out now? Now I'm stuck. Bootlegger, and I don't want to be recorded on you people. Bootlegger, release your hostages.
They had our guy behind enemy lines.
Release their hostage.
HPR says we're going to get copyrighted for
We
playing.
want our friend back. I told him.
That
We
was
want our
right
friend
before
back.
the post office.
Listen,
For everybody who saw the Pembroke Pines post office, that was the visit right before we went right to Pembroke Pines post office after this.
Yeah, we went from here to the Pembroke Pines. That's correct.
That post office, man.
What was his name? He ran away.
there was so much happening at that post office.
He's like, I don't want to do it. Something like that.
Well, that was it. That was my angle of what happened there.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That was funny. You were like, release your hostages. We want our friend back.
I was just busting up in my video. I was like, look at News Now, South Florida.
And you know what? Before that, we had gone to the firefighter that is stationed at the fire station. They got the pass. Remember? They gave us a grand tour. We said, "Hey, you guys need a new kitchen." They said, "Oh, we're actually getting one."
That.
The Davie Fire Department. And
oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, we
table,
did that in the Davie Police Department. Then we went over to that place. Yeah, that's right.
So at the Davie Fire Department, on the table in their kitchen, they had the newspaper with the story about the shooting, and I zoomed in on it. And I was like, "What the hell is this all about?" And then we went here, and they had all the cars. For that.
Wish we would have read that.
In the. You guys went into the fire department, but I went straight to the police station and hung out in there waiting on you guys.
That's just a sign of you can't always get the scoop. Somebody else got it.
Yeah, I felt stupid a little bit because when we went there, I was like, "What's going on here?" Like I thought they were like they did like a drug raid sweep of cars or something. Like there was some nice cars that were pulling in, and I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" And he wouldn't answer questions. And then finally, that woman cop that you flashed through in that video that you just showed everybody towards the end there, she was the first lady that said anything. She said, "Oh, you didn't see it? It was on the news. If you watch the news,
the bank robbery thing."
But we were busy because we did a whole travel over to News Now South Florida's house and all that stuff, and we just left from there. We weren't watching the news. We were, we woke up, we ate breakfast, and left. And
we were sitting around the fire and then eating breakfast and driving. We weren't watching news.
Yeah, but if I would have known about that, but then the second cop, he was really cool. The guy sergeant that came with the accent, he's like had some kind of Caribbean accent or something like that, I guess.
Yeah, he was Haitian.
Haitian, yeah. He said, it was the Miramar Parkway.
What's up, Joe?
And then we found out there was a shooting on the Miramar Parkway after the whole event. And we were like, what? We were getting things from the Dunkin' Donuts. Or across the street.
Joe.
Yeah,
Joe,
for
cool.
those
this
of you who,
bro.
What's up, Joe? Cool. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there was I think it was a bank robbery or something, and the people took a UPS truck or something like that, and took a couple people hostage. And then the cops had to shoot the robbers, and they also shot
the UPS driver
of the UPS truck, and
and
it was a sad thing.
Car. Yeah,
right. So what we saw, and another person died. So what we saw was this whole giant group of cars getting towed into the police station lot, and it seemed odd. It seemed newsworthy to us. So we went over to see what was going on, and the tow truck people flipped out, and Big Nick, South Florida, and the tow truck guys started yelling at each other, and it turned into what it turned into. But we didn't know about what was going on. But hey, it is what it is.
Tow truck driver said something wrong to GEA, the Gladi auditor. He said, "Shut your D suckers."
Yeah.
And Big Nick said, "You don't talk to my man like that." And he said, "Well, how dare you talk to him? He didn't even say nothing to you that was disrespectful. You're gonna be disrespectful."
Yeah, because GA is just a respectful dude. He's all about respect, man.
Yeah.
GA would not ever cuss anybody out. GA, he's a man of little words, but the words that he does say are very impactful.
Right. Yeah, just picking on him was. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, guys? I'm sorry. And GA has a sense of humor too. Nobody's ever gonna find out because he's quiet as fuck. But GA is funny as fuck.
He is.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Yep. He's got.
Yes, he is.
He's quick with it.
The dude is
good. This for you, Joe.
We got.
What the hell?
That chump ain't even hot. I could borrow the cuss, but that chump ain't even hot, man. There's some hot police out here. She ain't one of them.
Does that shit say a piece of shit on her? APOS? That's great, man.
Is that what that said?
APOS?
Yeah, it says
That's what it
APOS.
says.
He's A positive.
Oh, A positive.
Oh, she's A
Blood type,
positive.
bro.
She's
piece
a
of
piece
shit.
of shit.
I like Whoopi, a piece of shit.
That's funny. That's funny. What are you getting into
what's up,
tonight,
Joe?
Mr. Cool?
She told me that I had to wait on.
Actually, I just got in. I got some cop watching earlier. I didn't get a bid, but I did some shit on. I got some good shit footage. I was on the Tammy channel. Then I did Jeff's and come up. I'm on my second cup of hot cocoa. On my girl, like a good, damn it, lousy boyfriend out of him, trying to be a good guy. And then I hopped on YouTube and saw you cats.
Yo, it's still cold out there too?
We reached 59 today, which for us, I was out there just enjoying it with the windows down. I thought I was on the beach somewhere with damn near 60 degrees. And the people, the streets are still empty as fuck, which is really eerie. But the people are starting to come out. And I know y'all have seen my mayor just losing her fucking mind on TV. I got people across the globe in Australia and Britain and shit talking about how lousy my mayor is. Talking about lock everybody up, stay out the damn streets.
Damn, really? He's that bad?
Yes.
Damn, that sounds like some Frank Rizzo shit.
Yes. What's up, Beck?
Hey, listen to this.
I love it.
Apologize.
That's the only time you use those, huh?
For what's that?
You don't use those off duty?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not at all.
Look at that face. she's like, how did you know? How did you know?
Guilty.
Yeah, that lying ass face. Yeah. She said, you called me.
That was for you, Joe Cool.
Yeah, I changed my mind. She's bangable. I changed my mind, man.
There you go. There you go.
I did it.
She's serviceable.
I like this.
She's serviceable.
That look on her face tells me she wants to use them. She's wanting to use them with you, man.
Right. That's all that was. Of course I'm willing to use them, just not with you.
And that concludes the misogynistic part of our show.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
There you go.
Oh, shit. What's up, HBR Online? Hey, baby JD. I ain't even looked at the chat. My bad, guys. Hey,
yeah, 60 minutes turned into 127 minutes.
Yeah,
hey, that's okay. That's okay. You know,
That's
we're having
fine.
a good time and we got good people on the panel, then
Well,
you know, there's no reason.
Here, baby.
Yeah, only good
Just
people,
got
please.
here.
Let's keep it a good people. Just saying.
What's that?
Let's just keep it a good people.
Does that mean I have to leave?
I didn't get that right. So what'd you say?
I said let's keep it limited to good people.
So Rice, does that mean I got to leave?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No,
You have to go. Out of here, Indy.
Come on, HBR.
Scram.
No, I'm just kidding, Indy. Just kidding, Indy.
I don't care what anybody says. I
Not
think
care.
I really like, not just ego stroke, and I really appreciate you quitting the police force because of your morals and your values. That not every man can stand up to the facts and the truth.
I'll be right back.
Spend too much time working for myself. I can't work for somebody that's going to try to make me do something that I know there's nothing is wrong.
Wish you had a GoFundMe back then like this guy. He's at 300,000 now.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have GoFundMes back then,
right?
Yeah.
Thanks again, though, man.
Did I hear Joe Cool correctly? It was kind of quiet, but did he say that Lee Watch was calling him? Is that what I heard?
Oh, for real?
I think he said, "That's Lee Watch. I gotta go." I think that's what he said.
I haven't heard from him in a while. How about you?
I know. Well, you know, he can't. He's got a compromised health issue.
Immunity. That's why I was wondering about him.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to go out into public a lot right now, and I don't blame him.
All right.
So that's why he's been on the low for a little while.
You guys want to see something that even
Absolutely.
as I left the Marine Corps, I had the great honor of attending this thing.
Oh, cool. For Charles Robert? Oh, for a foundation.
No, Charles Robert Fountain was his real name.
Oh, Fountain. I thought that said foundation. I read it quick and
Yeah,
small.
no, he was one of the Montfort Marines, which was a segregated Marine Corps boot camp that they had. And these people were made up of like doctors and lawyers who knew that they were going to face, racism, but they went anyway because they felt the call of duty.
Outstanding.
That's awesome.
And they got a Congressional Medal of Honor, and they've given them out to as many survivors or posthumously like this one was here at MacDill Air Force Base. We went to that. This was the program from the event.
That's cool.
This is what it's about. Those guys fought injustice in the face of adversity.
It's amazing because
and that's the last one.
They fought for our country, and at that time, the country was not really treating them very well.
Wasn't fighting for them. Yeah,
I had a friend, Jimmy McDaniels. He was part of the Tuskegee Airmen. When I was real little, he was old then. He was playing the organ at a local family restaurant and bar. Family restaurant and bar kind of sounds funny, but played the organ there. And and then as I became an adult, I looked him up, and he was in another place, and we got to talk and became friends, and found out that he was part of the Tuskegee Airmen, and just a super cool dude.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, trolls? In the face of adversity. In the face of adversity, trolls.
Yeah.
In the face of adversity.
And for all those who want to tag on to that moron, that's where you are. Again, for posterity. That's what you're doing. Is that where you want to be when Jesus Christ come back, picking on little old Joe Dirt?
Hey, Rights, have you lost some weight?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah,
I lost about 10 pounds.
Yeah, it shows.
P90X, baby, the P90X.
Oh wow, you grew up in Belfast, Northern Ireland. See, when I was I recently did an interview with Andre Shouldn't Drink, and he was asking me about my background. My father's Irish, and I explained to him I have to be twice as Irish as the next guy, just because being half Irish, especially Irish American, to people from Ireland, they're like, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I try to
American.
educate myself as much as possible with the Troubles and the state of emergency that the Queen had since 1907, having the Royal Ulster Constabulary go in and execute people in their beds without trial. I know about all that. And Belfast, I don't know about all that. I misspoke there. But I try to know about all that. If you guys have seen that movie, In the Name of the Father, Daniel Day-Lewis, it's about I forgot it. I think it was the Guildford Four.
I just realized I had Rights Crispy as the huge screen, and I don't know why I never.
I took the stage. You had me there.
I had it up for the brochure, and I never took it down. That was funny.
Thank you, Ronald, and thank your dad.
I hope everybody enjoyed having a close-up of Rights Crispy for 5 extra minutes.
All eyes on Rights.
That was another thing. Andre Shouldn't Drink. He is also prior service in the Coast Guard and the Army. So, like your father, Ronald Truitt, he served in 2 branches of the service, which I think is awesome. Anybody who does that is like, oh fuck, I forgot to do something, and they go back. That's my hats off to you, man.
Put him back up. You prefer that, JD?
I'm gonna do a magic show.
Can you juggle? Can you juggle? Can you show us some juggling or anything?
With the green screen?
Can you
Yeah.
P90X for us? I mean,
Oh yeah.
shake weight.
Let's see a P90X demonstration.
I'm gonna start doing something disgusting. If you put me
Just
back
so
up
I
there.
take you off the screen?
Right.
You got
We
the
want to see you do a
wolfie.
keg stand. Hey,
The
you want to see
wolfie
me do a keg
sideways.
stand, everybody? In the cave?
Hell
In my
yeah.
cave? No, I don't
Hell
have
yeah,
a
we
keg.
want to see a keg stand.
I have a T-shirt of Tupac being held up by his legs doing a keg stand with his bandana on wrapped around his forehead and everything. I don't think it
Wow.
fits me anymore, though. It's a cartoon. It's like some skater clothing company makes a bunch of crazy different ideas.
Too funny.
Save the Humans. So Save the Humans
That's
and
the
I
most-
had a really, really cool like chat conversation about aircraft, except I was talking about life size and Save the Humans was talking about RC aircraft. When he said, "Oh, there's a convention up here," and I thought it was the same convention that my friend goes to, where she and her husband restore old World War II aircraft, like the prop jobs. And he was talking about an RC convention of kind of like the same kind of airplanes, the helicopters and stuff like that.
So I just sent a reply on here, right here. I wrote this. I'm the one that's controlling the Bolt Action news group chat, by the way. Noli D, how did we ever get so lucky to have you on Tuesday night? Anyway, we decided, at least for the next few Tuesdays, we're going to kind of divide and conquer. So tonight was mine and Rights Crispy's night.
Yeah.
And next Tuesday, a week from
Always
today.
take the first Firewatch.
That's right. Next Tuesday, a week from today, Eyes on the State and Rogue Nation are going to be spearheading a Tuesday chat. And we kind of, we had a little chat. We had a little meeting yesterday amongst ourselves, and we decided let's just do a quick little 1 hour chat. We don't want one of those 4 hour drawn on chats. But this is on what? Yeah, we're already at 2 hours and 17 minutes right now.
Is it bad, South Florida? Is it bad that I'm choosing sides? That I'd rather fuck with you and Rights than Rogue and Zon?
No, that's not true.
Breaking news.
Is that bad?
That's not true. That's not true. They're gonna be cool too. Here's
I'm sure they will, but in there, I think the rules will be a little more strict, man. I prefer to fuck with you cats.
Well,
by the way,
a little more news, straight news, political.
That was Lee Watch who bumped me off the panel, who just called me. That was your boy
I
Lee
thought
Watch.
that's what you said. I thought that's what you said when you left. I thought I heard you say Lee Watch. How come he didn't jump up in here? What the heck,
we accompany
man?
in your sentiments, Ronald Truitt.
So you're not even watching the show? I was on panel with your boys. You're like, oh no, I didn't know.
So this Tuesday is in addition to Thursday and Saturday?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yes, sir. We are doing
in addition to Thursday and Saturday, right?
Yeah. So let me say I was about to elaborate on that for Joe. So the format here for Tuesdays is kind of just a free form chat, just kind of a let's get on, let's let people in and just talk about whatever bullshit we want to talk about. Because our Thursday and Saturday nights are pretty rigid. Thursday is a very structured interview with somebody. Saturday is a very structured topic conversation. So when we had a little meeting yesterday amongst Bolt Action members, and I proposed the idea of, hey, let's have kind of a free form Tuesday chat and let people get in. And
but you fucking geniuses did not come up with that when you came up with the well, let's have an interview or let's have a standard topic. No one thought about, well, let's have an open mic night where we get the fuck off and fuck around. You serious bastards forgot about that?
Yeah,
That's
well,
just
you know, we
important.
were focusing our attention, and
Right.
now we're here. Now we're here for a free
So
form.
so you're saying
chat.
the other Tuesdays with Eyes
Rogue
and
Eyes
right Eyes and
Yeah.
Rogue will be the same kind of thing, kind of just whatever you want to talk about. Everybody's welcome.
Yes.
Blah blah.
Oh,
Awesome.
well,
Yes,
I'm
it
down.
should.
Okay, well, I'm down then.
All right, I'm
Yes.
back. What I miss?
We were
Uh,
talking about the
News Now is
concept for
running it
Tuesday
down.
being we were talking about the concept rights for Tuesday being more of a free form open chat because
Right.
our Thursday and Saturdays aren't that. So here we are.
Right,
and
right.
I was saying that I was about to say that. Well, maybe I was wrong. Damn it, if Rogue and them can loosen their collar, I'll have just as much fun over there. I would love to get to to be able to talk to Rogue about anything. When I come in on your, I guess it's the Saturdays, because every time I come in, it's a fucking topic. And one time I think it was about DSS, and another time about whatever.
Well, yeah, we have strict topics that will keep it to. I don't know if this was already broken down.
It was
Saturday.
a little bit on Saturdays. Yeah, on Saturdays will still be topic night. Thursdays will still be interview night.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I was saying.
Tuesdays.
I
Go ahead,
had
Joe.
been hopping on because the topics I just wasn't interested in. I had been beat to death with Mommy Amini with that DSS stuff. I was beat to death with that night. And whatever the other topic was, I don't know what, for whatever reason, but I'm just saying I've been around, been trying to come hang out with you cats. This here gives me a fucking excuse.
yeah, man.
And one day you had something about something I would have been interested in, but I got a phone call as soon as I got here.
You're always
but
welcome,
yeah.
Joe Cool. You know that.
Yep.
I thank you for that, but I respect you guys, and if I didn't think I can add to the topic, then I wouldn't hop my ass up there.
Well, I think you add every time you get involved in a panel, Joe. You're a very articulate man, and you have a lot of good things to say.
I thank you for that. I have an opinion on every fucking thing. I do. Yes, I think you're right.
Thank you, Ronald Truitt. Thank you. That means a great deal to me.
What do you say, right? All right. Thanks,
Joe,
Rice.
you're one of my favorites, man. You're one of my favorites to watch and listen to and shit when you talk to the cops and the topics that you bring up, dude. I really enjoy your videos.
Yes, so I think one of the most magical moments, there was like 40 to 50 police officers on bikes and stuff, and you went there.
Oh yes,
fuakata, each one.
Right,
you dressed them all down, man.
They say a
what
lot
you guys
of
doing?
things.
Just chilling? You're back on the block? Oh, you better shape up.
JD, we got an empty spot. JD, we got an empty spot.
I'm sorry.
What's up, JD?
Sorry, I'm trying to get JD in here because he's made about 3 comments about, or he or she, I don't know, I'm assuming she, made about 3 or so comments about jumping on, or
Here, I'm gonna bail out so that way he can jump in.
No, we still got an empty spot. We're good, Indy.
Okay.
Leslie agrees about Joe Cool. Joe Cool's very articulate and always has something to add. And Leslie agrees. I love it.
Yeah. Always intriguing the mind, man. I'll never forget the time when I believe Joe Cool was in Texas and was talking about marijuana being legal or whatever in Chicago coming the new year in 2020. And him saying, now say that situation happened here, wouldn't you feel bad about all the people you arrested then? And he said, well, was it illegal then? And he said, what does it matter, bro? You drop your morals? You dropped your morals when you put your badge on?
Morals. Yeah, you're talking about
that's
law.
real
about
shit,
morals.
man. That's the shit. That's the shit.
I'm learning. I'm trying to get rid of that temper, which is difficult. And your man Lee Watch just big up me before he got off the phone. And I was telling him, I think it's something about my personality. Motherfuckers think he got it together. And, so, they ain't got to waste their time telling me good job, Joe. So it's pretty cool getting on this motherfucker. And then you cats telling me, Joe, you do good work.
Hell yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah, you see the resistance?
Bro,
you see the resistance, Joe?
Yeah.
Which
I was
one? I've
just
been
about
watching
to.
him steadily. Which one?
The Resistance, man. He is just a proper dude. I've been working with him, and that dude is just a
I
delight
saw
to work
you.
with.
I saw you,
Man.
Pimp. I saw you. I was
That
trying to
shit
get
is
y'all to go in
entertainment in
that
front of my
Yo, but
eyes,
also
bro. I'm like,
disorderly
phew, he
product
blows me
news,
away.
man. That guy skyrocketed.
He's crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, he
he
did.
works hard. You would not believe how hard he
Yeah, bro.
works.
I was so
Every-
glad to have that panel that you invited us all to, man.
Him as well.
You know,
He
South
said
Florida
great things about you, bro. Great things.
News Now South Florida was not notified for, so I didn't get the word out to the rest of Bang. I thought that you had already reached out to everybody, but like
Are you talking
take
about that? Are you talking about that heavy hitters night? Hold on a second.
Yes,
It was
that
invite
night I
only,
feel
Are you
so
talking about
bad.
that? I'm so mad about
It
me.
was
I know,
invite
and
only.
I'm throwing my mea culpa out on that one. I feel so bad that I didn't
Damn,
let you guys know.
I was so
I'm
mad.
just saying. I'm just saying it was invite only. I'm just saying if your boys didn't get an invite, it was
No, they
invite
did.
only.
They did. You
telling
told me to
you, it
tell
won't
them.
be.
You told me to
It
get
won't
them.
be.
Clearly, I know
He's
I
fucking
now
with
know
you.
where I stand on the hierarchy of this place. I get it
He's
now. I
fucking with
get
you.
it.
He told me to tell the guys.
I get it now.
I did. I told him
That's my bust, man. I forgot. I thought you guys had already heard. But Rogue Nation was there.
The funniest thing, listen to this. The funniest thing is I saw this the next morning when I woke up. I saw this heavy hitters night and everybody was there. But that's not even the funniest part. The funniest part is I went back and Jeff is here. Audit. I don't know if it was on NC Timer Hunter or Jeff's, whichever channel it was. And he had put my name in it, like heavy hitters night. Come see this person.
Florida.
This person.
I think so. I think I did see that.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'm like, I was never fucking told about this. That was funny as hell.
Yes.
Sorry.
I saw. Would you something with News
Heavy
Now
hitters.
Houston? Would you cop watch your new audit with News Now Houston? All I saw was the name News Now Houston. I'm like, is he trying to say News Now Houston was there?
Yeah,
and
no.
he was like, niggas, you high, read the whole fucking title. Are you high, Joe? Read the whole title. Like, oh, my bad.
We've gotten a lot of questions about that. Like, what's your problem with him? I'm not gonna disparage the man either. I just said I don't want to work with him. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else, like Rogue Nation said,
that's a good place to leave it.
Yeah,
I think
HDR,
it's fair.
you're out. Later on, brother. I
Good
don't know if you're already
questions
gone.
about that. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
If they give
everybody's entitled to their opinion, just as people are entitled to say that they don't like what we do in the comments or whatever, and we're also entitled to delete their comments if they're hateful.
If you heard what I said, I said I would have invited him had I had his info. That's what I said. News Now Houston.
Yeah.
And I don't think the guy wants to go out and record anymore. I haven't seen any of him going out and recording. I don't think he has any desire to anymore. I think he quit.
That's interesting. That's interesting as fuck if that's true, because it might tell
That's
me
just
what
my opinion. I haven't
like.
seen him do anything, you know?
I think he's not recording right now.
It's for the same reason that I haven't seen him. It's that we don't watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch, but I don't think if he has done something big, it would have came up somewhere like in my suggested feed.
He's mainly reviewing other people's stuff right now. I think he may be not real active right now just because of the legal things that he's going through right now, and he's waiting until that's all done to go out and hit the streets again.
But Joe Cool, man.
I want to know if you guys have that thing where where you post a big vid. Like some people post every vid. I certainly don't have to do that shit. Wolfie, I know you don't do that shit. But I live in the city. I pass up 6 per cop watch type shit. But you ever post something that's just bomb shit, getting thousands of views, and then your next vid, you like, I might not want to post this motherfucker. It's just a simple cop watch. The cop was
because how can you top that? Yeah.
Yes.
I felt like that once, but then every video you don't put out, that's a video that people are not watching.
I had a video that I just put up recently, which was the one where we were filming a UPS, and the cops came, and all of them three different departments came, tried to give us directives and ask us all these questions and shit. We just shut them down. And then they eventually all left and shit. And I never put it up because I had had a few drinks, because Philly News Now, I'm not trying to blame somebody other than myself, but, you know, puts me in a position to where I want to have a couple drinks after a good long day of auditing. And we said, oh, you know what we can get before sundown? A UPS. And then we were like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
And
hit
I
a
held on to that
You know
footage
what
forever.
you think
It's on
might
my
be
channel.
what you think might suck as a
I
video,
gotta let the dog out.
you put it out there and it ends up like blowing up. Like
It's over
I didn't
100,000
expect the
views on it.
Miami Federal building. I left that for last, and people like it. I don't know. It was
I thought it was gonna get 8,000 views tops. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
I was lucky. And then the shit
Right.
blows up, you know, people like enjoy it. Yeah, you never know. I don't know how it works. It's just
Yeah.
just
You
post them
never
up and
know.
see what people like. You
Oh,
know?
what's
I
up,
always
cameras? For
think
sure.
I always think I know this is what they like. This is
I
what
know
they
you're.
want to see. And I'm always surprised. I'm always wrong. I think this was just an average video, 50,000 fucking views in 2 days and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So this is this is why I look at the way I look at my channel. My channel is like my video diary, my like little journal of like all the shit I did doing this. And I make the shit for me to enjoy and say, if I'm satisfied with it, I don't care if anybody else isn't. And then if people enjoy it, that's awesome. And I get some videos like the one at the prison in Chester it's like at like 370,000 views and shit.
Right.
Like I never knew it was gonna fly that big. To me, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was funny,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
like because the lady was stupid and shit. Like, but people really, really enjoyed it for whatever reason. I don't know. But
Hey,
One of my first
cameras of
joints
mass
did that.
destruction. This is a scene for you, man.
Chicks dig me.
this ain't for you.
Because I rarely wear underwear, and when I
Yeah.
do, it's usually something unusual. But now I know why I have always lost women to guys like you. I mean, it's not just the uniform. It's the stories that you tell. So much fun and the imagination. Lee Harvey, you are a madman. When you stole that cow and your friend tried to make it with the cow, I want to party with you, cow.
Yeah, man.
The two of us together, get it.
Forget it.
The two of us together, forget it. Damn, we lost Whoopi. Oh no, he put his shit up. Yeah, Whoopi, I had an early vid hit 300-some thousand views, and I was not prepared.
You guys ever see that movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lighten up,
Yes.
Francis.
What was that, Joe?
Lighten up, Francis.
I say I had a one hit 300-some thousand views early on, like my second bid or something. And I was not prepared. I didn't know that this is slow. I didn't know it was fast. I woke up with 1,500 subs or 2,500 subs or something. I didn't fall. I knew this shit was normal. Fuck did I know?
Damn, yo, that's good, man. You had one of your videos go that good too?
Yes,
checking to see it.
that's one of my early ones, man.
Man, dude, I don't doubt it. I binge watched your channel, man, like a while back. But,
Right.
like, I have to admit, I ain't been caught up on people's channels like for a while now. But
If they drop something new, if you drop something new, I'll see it. But I'm not going in motherfuckers' archives unless somebody suggests something in particular, because I just don't have the fucking time. When I
yeah,
get
there's
up in the
not
morning,
enough time.
Yeah, it
I
makes
can't
sense.
like it's
No,
weird.
I
Before
don't.
I had time, but now you
Yes,
film
right,
and you gotta put shit up and then you have to deal with your
right.
life and then this and then
Yeah.
that and
I be like, I used to be watching alien vids and fucking ghost vids and shit. Now I just don't have the fucking time. I got 87 requests to do this and help with that, and got them to support this person, Joe, if you can.
if I get a couple hours, I don't even want to deal with the monotony because like that's all I deal with anymore is watching these vids and doing these vids and recording these vids. Like when I get some extra time, I want to like watch
I think
something
that's my
that
most
takes my
popular
mind
one.
off of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then
Oh
I have
my
busyness around it.
goodness.
That's it. There are people who have several with over 1 million views. I think James Madison Audits has
Nick
but
was talking about that.
that's my highest one. I think almost 500,000.
Nick was like, Joe, where'd you get those millions? That sounded just insane to me, man. And fucking insane.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is the first time I've looked at it in several months. I don't keep track at how many views I have on the videos anymore. At first, like Super Sardos, I was like, oh my gosh, I got 25,000 views. That was
right.
Wolfie shared that one. I was like, oh shit. And then after that, I really haven't kept track because again, it's keeping your mind out of that YouTube mindset of giving you a number that you have to live by. Do what you do and be the best you.
It's not promised.
It'll show in your channel.
Yeah, your numbers aren't promised. It's not like you have to chase that number. You know what I'm saying? Like you just do you, and whatever comes of it.
Thumbnail.
It's your life, and motherfuckers are just getting to watch it. Every day you don't go out there and fuck the baddest fucking stripper. You know, some days, you know, you go to the store and get groceries.
Yeah, it's boring some days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Like deal with it. Oh, this video was boring. Why did you even post this? Because it happened. And it's my video journal, bro. And that's why it's on my banner. It's a video journal. And it is, man. And it means something to me. I had this conversation with Rights Crispy 6 months ago, I think. And I told him, look, man, at the end of the day, there will be months and months where YouTube won't even promote your videos, but it's not really about that because I still have the drive to go out and do this. And like, I just want to keep putting these videos up and showing it, you know, and at the end of the day, I'm making these videos for me to look back at when I'm like 65 years old and I'm not like, you know, up to being able to kind of get out and do this no more like that. And I can say, look, man, me and this group of people and these men, like I've worked with 16 other channels, right? So far, 16 other YouTube channels. And I can look back and say, I was part of this. Me and these men did this shit together, shoulder to shoulder. We did it. You know what I'm saying?
Freedom fighters, right?
And you can never take that. And you can say I'm a baiter or an instigator or I'm just looking for views or whatever. Look, you know what's so funny? I don't look for views and clicks and money. I get views and clicks and money because I do this.
Yeah, it's a great bonus, right?
Yeah,
you know, but I started doing this risking my life and liberty and my profession and my good name, which is already ruined. I had, when you Google my name, I had service that I had done with Rotary of, you know, foster children, feeding the homeless, all this stuff. Now it's my mugshot.
Yeah, and I'm on
my false arrest
government watch list.
And these people saying that I stole valor. It's like that's them. I don't give a shit that it's out there. Forever, I'll have to explain. Hey, look, these people are fucking parasitic scum that shit on my actual service to make their name out there with a catchphrase.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
What's funny? I got to jump off here. There was a crash route in front of my house. I'm gonna see if there's any good video.
All right, get it.
Put your shoes on out there. Ooh. Have you seen that Dane Cook joke about
you know what's funny? If any of us did that and we recorded like cops, and just because we didn't like the way the guy acted that day, we wrote on the screen with text or something, this guy rapes his stepchildren or some shit like that, right? And then that video gets like 124,000 views. And this guy goes, oh, now my neighbors look at me all funny because you said this about me and that about me, right? But these people can go out and say that you're stealing valor and get away with that kind of defamation, that kind of slander.
Because YouTube doesn't take on defamation cases, apparently. That's what they told me.
They don't, but you can, because of the YouTube, you can.
Yeah.
Not YouTube. You don't complain to YouTube. You go to a civil
I mean,
court.
there's libel there with law enforcement today. They've already, you know, the article from September,
was
just fictitious nonsense up until when I got arrested and they attached my name to it. That became libelous. That's, you can't, say that the character writes Crispy, now we have his name, when in that original story you put us with another guy named Fred Magazine on Twitter who is calling for end of watch, and these cops are gonna have widows and all this shit.
Yeah.
It's horrible stuff that he was saying, and that's libelous. Saying that we're all the same person. They said that me, Rogue Nation, and Fred Magazine are all one person.
Correct. You're totally correct, and it's in the state's constitution. It's in every state's constitution that you can record things from the public, but if you do anything that defames someone, it's not criminal, but you can be held civilly responsible.
You have the freedom of speech, but you have the responsibility to put out facts and opinions, not falsehoods and lies.
Right. And what they did at Florida News,
and that's what I just told this fucking clown. Now, it's, bro, if you don't know how to fucking read, shut the fuck up. There's your soundbite. I'm sorry.
What happened? Who are we yelling at?
The guy you let on.
Oh, way earlier, man. That was hours ago. Get over that.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, it's like you want to go out there and say, "Oh no, this is this." No, wrong. Oh, correction. No, wrong again, because you don't know how to read.
I get that shit,
and it's just little minute details, but in the devil is in the details, and I said today, in this day and age, a witty catchphrase, or a dim-witted catchphrase in this case, carries more weight than the truth. When people have the truth right in front of them, like I told the blank hole report, dude, you want to go down doing that when you see the records right in front of you. Look at the numbers, calculate. You're gonna jump on this bandwagon.
I think the idea, though, right, is that
forever.
The things that we do will attract a certain crowd.
Right.
What's up, Ben? Will attract a certain
and we have parasites. Exactly.
And there's a certain amount of people, which I'm learning, a certain type of person who's attracted to the drama and the discord. Right.
And that other guy is a realtor too, man. So
yeah, I hear you, baby. That's what's good, baby.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on?
How you doing, Art, on the state?
Made his way on in here. What's going on?
What's
on, just
everybody?
Your ears must have been burning. I heard that you and Rogue are gonna do one show on Saturdays or Tuesdays, and then they'll do the other one. And they were just saying, Joe Cool, don't fuck with Rogue and Eyes, man. They show whack, man. Just hang out here with us. They were just talking about how lousy you guys are, man.
Wait a minute.
What's up, everybody? That happens all the time.
That happens all the time.
That doesn't seem like an accurate portrayal of the
what occurred.
It happens. It happens.
It does.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Right. You see that? Keep up the fight. He's putting us.
That's
on
my
blast.
punchline to my other joke. An Irish guy walks out of a bar. It could happen.
It could happen.
It happens. I thought Irish men stumbled out of bars. I didn't think they walked there.
There you go. 3 guys walked into a bar. The 4th guy ducked.
An Irishman is never drunk as long as he can hold on to a blade of grass and not fall off the face of the earth.
A blade of grass.
Blade of
That's
grass and hang on.
That's about all he can hold on to some nights. That drinking shit is brutal. I usually do that shit once a year on my birthday.
Here's another toast. May those who love us, and those who hate us, may God turn their hearts. And if he can't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles so we recognize them by their limp.
Oh,
there you go.
Whoa. Well, let me get a drinky here. Hang on.
Drinky drink.
I was about to say, in the interest of transparency, this is only cocoa. This is
all right.
Pepsi.
Soda. Man, soda's not good for you, man. Don't
I
do it.
know.
It's all I
Joe
do.
Cool, Joe Cool, this is a full disclosure channel. I'm gonna need to know the truth, sir.
Can y'all see who that is?
That looks like Jesus smoking a bone.
That's Black Jesus with a blunt. That's me, baby.
Right on.
Oh,
Talking about blow me.
I gotta show you. Joe Cool, I gotta show you a couple of Black Jesus pictures.
Yes, I'm down. I get a churches around here shit over that, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna blow my screen up here. My wife and I went to a wedding, I don't know, like 2 months ago or something. And I don't know, they might not even be in my camera roll. They might be in my text messages only. But it was a black guy getting married, to one of my wife's coworkers, and it was in a black church. And the whole church was covered in Black Jesus pictures. It was pretty awesome. So I took a picture.
I go into a church, really big church on Chicago South Side, one of those mega churches, spit thousands of people. And I went for a tour. I've never been to a church service still. And I met the Reverend Deacon. I don't even know what you call the head of a fucking church, minister. I don't know. But he had a 50-foot picture of the white Jesus out front. And then I get on him about it, and he takes me to his office to show me the fucking 18-inch Black Jesus. And that's supposed to make
It's hidden up there, huh?
Right?
I went to a beautiful black church here when my neighbor and good friend passed away. And, oh, man, if you haven't been to a Black Baptist funeral, like, I hope you never have to, but if you do, go if you get invited, because it's a beautiful tribute. They stepped for him. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's kind of like if you've ever seen black fraternity step drills.
I have.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like that, but in a more reverent church-like way. It was beautiful.
Okay, that's a thing. That's a thing. In all the
Black Jesus
rest in peace,
dreadlocks. I
Mr.
like
Marion
that one.
Turner.
In the churches overseas, it's the same thing. Back in the day, they had all pictures of a dark Jesus and a dark Mary. But as things changed, I like that one.
I believe that Jesus was of a darker complexion than everybody gets to see.
Yeah,
like
skin
on
of bronze, hair like wool, like it says in the Bible.
If you think of the part of the world that the whole thing came from, I almost myth, but I don't want to insult anybody.
Well, it's before the world separated into
the facts are the
continents.
facts. The facts are the facts.
Yeah.
The Renaissance painted him blonde hair, blue eyes, because that was the Renaissance in Italy, in northern Italy, and that's what was cool. The facts are that hair of bronze, or skin of bronze, and hair like wool.
And before that white domination bullshit came in, they used to paint them dark. And the kid and Mary, everybody was dark. And then, when whites started taking over the world, shit changed. Also, they didn't want to throw those paintings away because they're works of art. So they got a bunch of paintings of Mother and Virgin that are black. You should Google that shit sometime. They don't show them anymore. They got some really incredible paintings.
Right.
Yeah, and all that stuff about how different we are is not as important as the stuff that makes us the same. And
agreed.
And history books are written by people who have been, who the story has been altered until it got to that person.
History is written by the victor.
There's one story and the other story and the truth, always in every situation.
In the middle. But look, history is written by the victor. Think about the Indians. They're savages because the American white man won. And that's tough.
That is correct. That is a quote. That is a quote from who was it? I just shared that quote the other day. That is true. History is written by the victor. It's the narrative is written from the conclusion. the conclusion standpoint instead of like nobody gets the real exact story. It just goes by narrative of where the world leads to at each point.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Nobody ever writes about the means. They only write about the ends.
There's a
Yes,
bigger
and
picture there somewhere that people aren't ever
After
seeing.
World War II,
in reality, it's the
because
journey,
they
right?
did
It's
write
never
about
the
that.
destination.
Exactly.
That's
You
true.
miss everything if you just looking for your destination. I'm looking to get where I'm going. I'm looking for this big lottery or this paycheck. You miss every damn day until you get that thing. The meat is in the journey. The meat is in the small things.
The funniest thing I always look back on is how many years there have been, like in mankind. Like it's so crazy, right? And in the last 200 years, the shit just blew the hell up into just a mess, a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
of
that's
people.
how dumpster fires happen. Just ignite and like get out of control quickly, and that's what
It's
happened.
like,
Wolfie, that's
You're right.
just think of the last 40 years.
Industrial
and how much
Revolution and oil and petroleum and the robber barons that built the United States, and going back to the Rothschilds and
in 40 years we could
funding
ruin
both
the earth.
sides of wars with bullets and bandages. And it's gone on to the pharmaceutical companies, telecommunication companies, and weapons manufacturers that not just this country but rule the world.
Well,
1988 feels like so long ago, but it's 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense how far that shit went.
Right, so I'm sure you're familiar. Then you're talking about the robber barons and of the old days and shit.
Yeah.
Then back then you're probably familiar with trickle down economics, where they thought back at that time that in order to get the country back on its feet, you give as much money as you can to the rich people and it'll trickle down to the poor people. And all of those rich people treated their employees like shit. They hired the I forgot the name of those guys, company that would come beat up the workers. It was
the Pinkertons.
Pinkertons would come beat up the fucking employees and all of that crazy shit. Or they would buy up the railroad. People bought up all the competition or made it where they couldn't work. They had to come out with new anti-monopoly, antitrust rules.
And who were the railroad people? What made them powerful? Chinese and Irish immigrants who built the backbone of this country, because we wouldn't have been shit without a railroad.
They get the cheapest labor possible.
We still aren't
now
shit without our railroad.
And you get the cheapest labor now by sending it overseas. I don't see how these rich motherfuckers are going to change, which is where I was going with it. They ain't changed in all these years. They're not going to change.
No, you're right, because it agreed to like, when you look and compare Europe to the United States, Europe does not allow any medical pharmaceutical commercials on their TV. You'll never see anything like, oh, and be sure to consult your doctor before taking this toxic shit. And these are all the toxic side effects that could kill you that are way worse than why you're taking it. They don't have that.
Yes.
Right. They don't have that over there. And we have it over here. We're allowing this stuff out of greed. They have, and I'm not saying they're way better than us. We have freedom. We have freedom of speech. But that with that freedom comes that price that we have to let these people peddle their wares to the sheep.
I don't know.
Sounds
if we
like
have
something
to,
similar to what's going on right now.
We do. I don't know if we have to, but we certainly do that. And in fact, all these politicians that vote for them, they got multi-million-dollar positions waiting on them when they leave Congress. So they don't give a fuck about what their record looks like. Yeah, they're gonna make their real money when they leave anyway. That should never be allowed. Make a deal with somebody.
And they're old. They're like 70 years old. All these people sitting in this cabinet. They're like,
and the
I only have like 15
the
more years before I die anyway. So who cares?
The mess we're in, whatever side you're on of the belief of what's happening, the response is the problem. We can all agree on that. The response was ridiculous. Whether it was exaggerated or not, it's just it wasn't as people were demanding from all sides. I want tests. I want to be able to, get a test wherever I want, and nobody could do that, and how does the test I want to get equipment. I want to get protective equipment. You can't get all that. And China is laughing. Big joke on us. They kept all this protective equipment months in advance. That story just broke a couple weeks ago. It's embarrassing. They won World War III without firing a shot.
The cure is that they came up with is not even a cure, but the solution they came up with is
exposing our greed
disease itself. Everybody give up their jobs and stay in the house and lose their fucking income, and your fucking solution is gonna do as much damage as the fucking disease ever could have, man. My old man, he's in the fucking nursing home right now. 2 out of his 3 roommates died recently. We ain't been able to see him since the lockdown. And 2 other.
I was gonna say, just thinking pragmatically, you gotta look at this is not just an isolated incident. Just like super hurricanes aren't gonna stop just that one that we had. If you think scientifically, and I think News Now South Florida can back me up here, you're gonna see it getting worse. Just like with bacteria and viruses and antibiotics that are being put into our food and the way that we're eating, it's going to keep getting worse. This isn't getting better, and we're not going to be able to just shake it off and move on like in 1918.
I think that it's going to get worse, but luckily for us 5 on this panel and us 29 in that, it's not going to get worse for us personally, because what it's going to be, it's going to become a systemic problem in the younger generations, that their immunities and their genetically, it's going to weaken them and their offspring. So yes, it's going to get worse for the human race, but is it going to get worse for Rights Crispy and News Now South Florida and Joe Cool? No, because
All right, am I back? Yeah, I can see you cats moving now. I had to switch internets.
Well, welcome back, Joe. So yes, it's going to get worse for the younger generations, that they're the ones they're going to combat this genetic onslaught of weak immunities and super strong viruses and resistance and stuff.
The weak immunity shit you just said. Imagine we're cutting out the herd immunity shit, that the way we've been dealing with these fucking diseases throughout history. We're cutting that out by making people stay at home and not interact. So one natural defense we had, we're killing that.
Yeah, we're not allowing.
Go back out when we start shaking hands again. Boom! We're all gonna get sick as hell. Some of us are gonna die from a common cold, and they're gonna say, "See, it's a huge pandemic."
But let me put it to you guys this way, though. If everybody's getting sick off of something, right, and we come up with a vaccine for it, wouldn't you rather be exposed to the vaccine people and develop your herd immunity off of them, rather than the full-blown version that might kill you?
I'd rather get sick and fight it so my body knows what it is and doesn't
play the crapshoot,
doesn't get messed up from it.
Because there is something out there that is hypercoagulant and causing people to have
like I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to go near people who are older or have fragile immune systems and shit. I get that. I don't want to go and spread no shit to nobody if I have a cold or a flu or anything. Like any year I never desired, like, let me go out today and give everybody I can the flu or a cold possibly.
Right.
Because I was hanging out with my nephew who went to school and had a cold, No, like it's like that ain't people's fault. You know, that's life, and that's the way I think. You know,
I
that's
think
just my.
most people remember 6 months ago we all got sick.
Yes,
6 months ago.
right before this shit, everybody I know
Yeah.
in my family were
Yep.
getting sick.
Everybody. I never get sick, and I got sick.
You can go back. You can go back into my videos,
But
and
my
see.
wife got sick also, and her test results came back as never been COVID. But that could be a false negative too.
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
Because she does work in a hospital.
It could be.
But
a
nobody
different
talks about the
strain
false
of
positives.
COVID also.
And false negative. These tests are so unreliable. I hear they're not even testing for COVID. They're testing for a certain strain of the flu, which is so similar to COVID.
And I've said it before, there's a formula, a recipe for the test. And the ingredients for that recipe were bought out just like toilet paper at the beginning of all this. So hospitals and universities had to come up with a substitute this ingredient for this recipe for it. And they did, and it finally got rushed and approved by the FDA, and that's what they're using as tests now.
Yeah, I hear that some of them are 50% and lower. I'm like, nigga, I could roll a dice. I could just stand there and guess. Motherfucker, if this was the best you have, I could stand there and be like, he got it, she don't. You guys go on, you stay. I would get 50% too.
What do you think about the numbers?
You might as well have the. You might as well have the
numbers,
damn
the
weatherman
cases.
telling us if we're freaking positive or not.
When they first started, and the numbers said 1 in 10 people would die in a matter of days from this, I thought myself, I started before lockdown. I quarantined myself. I kept away from people. But I study. I've been seeing the numbers, and the numbers are now. Even the fucking CDC and the World Health Organization had to come out and say this is more akin to the flu. And then they did independent studies in them colleges. And then California came out and said it's in their state, it's 0.03. Which is fucking a weak ass flu. They say open the country back up. Fuck is y'all doing?
Italy did their study from March 17th was like their peak because they were before us. Like it spread here supposedly however it did, like the flu did or whatever the hell it was. It is like a really bad flu. I'm not saying it's nothing to worry about, but they came up with a study that said people that had no underlying illnesses that died from COVID was under is like 0.0 something, right? It's a small slit. They had a pie chart.
I know one personally.
And then it was
it was weird because he was an athlete.
Underlying illnesses. 50% of them was 3 or more underlying illnesses. Then 25% was like 2 or more underlying illnesses, and then the other like 24.09 whatever that made up for the rest of the pie chart was one underlying illness.
Meaning even they were attributing most of their deaths wrongly, like we do.
Yeah,
now.
like if you, they even admitted it. That Deborah Burke's chick admitted that shit. You know, she said it on a news conference from the White House. She said, if you are tested positive for coronavirus, which is like there's like thousands of strands of coronavirus, but like they don't have a definite, like they haven't zeroed in on exactly what's killing these people. You know, they haven't zeroed in exactly what this virus is yet. So they say, or you know what I mean? Whatever.
My Wi-Fi cut out. It's 30 strands.
Yeah, Ronald's got a good point there. That new tracing bill.
Can you guys hear me?
HR 6666.
Yeah.
House Resolution 6666, which will allow them to go in your homes and snatch you out.
Yes, I can, Rights.
Yes, right.
Yeah, Rights. They'll be allowed to go in your home, snatch you out. They'll be able to trace your friends, track your friends, use your phone to track you, take you out of your house, and put you up somewhere for 14 days or however long they think is adequate. Yes, this is HR 6666. Yeah.
Yep. Every time I say 30 strands, my Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. I wanted to get it out there.
It's crazy, man. Whatever is going on and shit. Like I like to go out there and have contact with people. I like to keep my body used to normal life. I like to touch door handles.
Me
I like
too.
to touch my face. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't like to touch door handles at all. I don't like it.
Ah, that's interesting as fuck, right? So I'm with Wolfie on that shit, man. I go to Home Depot and touch everything in the aisle.
Right?
You gotta keep your
Every
body
piece of
strong,
tile,
man.
every tool. I gotta touch everything.
You
My
wash
friends
you
give
wash
me
your
shit
hands
about
every time you leave the bathroom?
that. I do not. No, I do
Honestly.
not.
I wash
do
my
not, no.
hands 3
See,
times a
there's
day
dick matter
on
and
the
schmegma
average.
on that door handle now.
I
Agreed.
wash my
When I
hands
come
3
in the
times a
crib,
day.
when I
I
come
wash
in
my
the
hands 3
crib,
times a day.
Leaving a little bit of
brush my
Joe
teeth,
everywhere
my
he
teeth twice.
goes.
I know. When I come in the
whether
house, I
whether
wash my
whether
hands.
it's as legendary as Joe Cool schmegma,
All right, or
it doesn't
some lousy so and
Hey,
so. Yes.
there's gonna be smegma on everything, dude. Like you don't know. Like somebody could pick something up in the store and put it down, and that's gonna stay on there. But our bodies depend on bacteria being shared between each other to understand what we're supposed to fight.
I can handle getting exposed to pathogens and overcoming it because growing up with my chores on my family farm in Dominican Republic, getting stung by mosquitoes the size of hummingbirds and chiggers. You don't even know what chiggers are anymore. They're gone now. But if you knew in the 80s what chiggers were, oh my god,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, I know because I saw the videos in Africa where they're digging them out of people's feet. Oh my god.
Dude, these are little tiny red things that will dig under every wrinkle of your ball.
News
yes.
Horrible.
News Now South Florida said this shit perfectly earlier. When we were kids and somebody else's kid got the chicken pox, parents would bring their kids over there to give them the chicken pox just to get it over with.
Shit,
Yes,
chicken pox parties.
They call a party. Yes, a party. Yes.
But what would we do nowadays in this day and age? Wear masks?
We all come in a bubble.
We would make the kids stay away from each other until one of the kids got old and died.
Shut down the schools.
Shut down the schools and put them in plastic bags. Yeah.
And then when you get older, it's worse and you die sometimes.
Oh,
Pure
yes,
Llewellyn
you'll die
just
from a
learned the
person
word
sneezing on you. By the time
schmegma.
you get older, you'll have no fucking immune system and you'll die if someone sneezes on you. Yeah.
And the big people know that. The ABCs, I don't want to say it because I don't want to like officially say it, like because stupid ass guidelines. But they come on, they have the health doctors and stuff, and those people, they know that. They know that you're supposed to do that. That's why they give you like vaccines for the flu, like to get you
right. If you do that and build up your own immunity, how are they gonna sell you their vaccines and their cures? All these fucking multi-billion
the vaccine's gonna kill you.
Right. And listen, I believe in vaccines and I believe in the science behind vaccines.
That's smart, yo. That's something. That's why I love you, Joe. Dude, I never even think about that.
No,
yet.
Miami Beach
if they
audits.
force the vaccine,
You're thinking Blasian.
If they force that shit, man, a lot of people might die because they've been social distancing forever, for months and months and months, 6 months.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's
right.
deep shit, dude.
And you gotta know that in the vaccine, there's a certain amount of the fucking disease. That's how they give it to you, so your body will build fucking antibodies.
Shout out to Joe Cool.
All right, on South Florida.
Joe Cool always like intrigues my brain, dude. Like a brain, like he makes me think about that stuff. Like, wow, I never thought about that.
But you know what, Wolfie? I gotta be honest. That shit is not welcome everywhere. I'm not satisfied with surface conversation, man. But that shit is not welcome everywhere. Some motherfuckers want to laugh all day. Some motherfuckers want to argue all day.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right.
And too bad for those poor miserable bastards who spend their life like that because you only have one shot here.
One, I disagree with that totally, man. I believe that
well, maybe you get reincarnated or something, right?
Yeah,
but right now you have like one shot in this shot. Maybe you get another shot, but you're gonna waste your shot doing what other people told you to do.
Right.
Doing
This is
what you
obviously
think is gonna make somebody else happy instead of making yourself happy.
are you gonna spend any time doing that shit? Right. This is a shot. And if I do spend time making someone else happy, you better believe it's putting talents in the bank for God. It's my duty to help someone type of shit. But I'm not gonna run around miserable, man. I wake up happy, I
Right.
go to sleep happy, and throughout the day I'm happy. Yes,
too.
I'll take some cuts and shit to help a friend.
And if you
but
do feel sad, again, the best way to bring yourself out of the dumps is to lift somebody else up too. Because when you do something kind for someone else, that's what I was trying to explain to our troll the first time I learned about it. You don't do charity for yourself. You do charity for others. You don't ask to be in a parade. You get asked to be in a parade.
The Bible says you come into a new place, you sit in the back of the room and let other people tell you to come up forward. Which is, by the way, I don't mean to start shit here, but I think that was 10th Man's issue when he came into the community. He hopped on panel the first day and said he was smarter than everyone, and if we studied as hard as he did, we know this and that. The first day he put himself up front. And I'm a firm believer, man. I sat for months and just listened to chats and didn't even say hi type shit. You know, yeah, you come in, you sit in the back of the room and you learn. You don't come in like you fucking arrogant. Yeah, I'd agree. All right, in South Florida, man. You catch a tag team fucking duo. One of you motherfuckers conversate, the other one works the fucking buttons. Oh, speaking of,
there's no rhyme or reason to it, man. It's just this is our first day doing this.
Would you cats consider hosting one of those fucking I know Jeff calls the heavy hitters. I just was like in friends invite. Would you consider hosting that? Because I thought
you have the golden Rolodex, of course, man. If you get all those people onto the Bang channel, for sure.
I can set it up.
All right, I'd be certainly down considering that. I feel like you know, a bunch of my requests went unheeded. My name wasn't even on the fucking banner over there. I said I did not want the regular niggas on there, invite only. So and so is not allowed. And my man, by the time I got there, was already a shit show. The chat had blown up to pieces. It was a piece of, you know, I'm not interested.
I mean, I think tonight is a clear example that we have no standards of who will allow on, present company excluded.
Right.
About it.
I kind of like when the trolls come on. I want a couple trolls to come on and challenge us, but the funny thing is,
but really, I mean,
they're always there in the comments.
That way.
I'm not
they're always there in the comments, but they don't come into the video because they know that they do not lack the intellectual being that it takes.
Let's move to that because I got some, some beautiful minds up here.
Like that.
Let's move to that. What motivates these people, guys? What motivates a motherfucker who apparently don't like us?
That dude is money and recognition. That's what, before he ever even met us, that's what he was about.
You're talking about someone in particular?
Yeah.
That troll at the beginning, that he did a little expose on you too. Remember the dude from Chicago that got run out of town?
I do.
That guy. That clown.
He doxed me on Christmas Day. He was like, I got a present for you tomorrow, blah, blah. Anyway, what motivates these cats? Assuming some of them, I don't know if they even make money. Some of them be having one.
Think about it. He put this question out. How come you guys didn't release the video of me that they... What, other than recognition, did he want us to put out there? Because he edited out a whole bunch of shit where he looked stupid.
Tons of it.
Why did he want us to put it out? Other than to have us put his name out. It's just about money and recognition for him. And that's why he projects that to us. It's not about money for me. Listen, I'll say this. For the people counting money, my best month doing this was half of what I would get on a small deal on my regular job.
Yes, and I would say you guys don't have many thousands fucking subs. I wouldn't even consider making money off of this.
Yeah, I
Right,
know.
guys, exclude.
And I give my money back to the community. I think everybody here knows that.
So
Exclude the money making people who do it for money. There's some niggas out here with 1 subs, fake accounts, sock accounts and shit. And they do it for, I'm not even sure what reason. You tell me what motivates a motherfucker to come here day after day and say dumb shit like, oh, I don't like this, I'm out. But you'll be here tomorrow and you're still probably in the chat. Or so and so.
People always say, I'm gonna unsubscribe from you.
That
You're not
shit,
going anywhere.
so and so. Why'd you take that money from the government? What motivates these people? I'm curious. I've been thinking about this, man, and I sincerely believe that some of these cats are paid to do this. They would have to be, and they don't mean from YouTube and AdSense. I mean, they paid from the fucking those initials.
This guy's not paid from the government. This guy, if he is, I mean, hey, great job, the government. You really fooled me because I don't see that as like a thing that you guys would do.
Right. I need your head to think about other people. You keep bringing it back to that one lunatic.
Oh, I know.
I mean, in general, I've been asking this question for a long time. What motivates motherfuckers in general to keep coming back, giving us shit?
It's because they think that we make money off of this shit, dude. I fucking make a little bit of money off of this shit as much as anybody else. We're not making Casey Neistat money. We're not big time Logan Paul or Jake Paul or whatever the hell their names are. We're not big YouTubers. We don't make big YouTube money.
But like guys on the state, he doesn't make any.
I don't even make anything.
Right.
It costs me money to do this all the way around.
Yes. I spend more of my money in the communities and then travel and doing the things that I do for my channel than I've ever made in return. I spent 14 grand I had saved up, 14 grand when my jobs moved. And it was too far to go to every day. I couldn't go that far there and back every day. Just for the amount of money that it would have made me, it didn't make sense.
It's not just about money. Also, for those people, like you were asking, Joe Cool, it's not just about the money for them. It's also the recognition. There are some people. Yeah, there's some people who do this, and all they do is just criticize us, and they've never contributed anything other than criticism, and they'll be in chats and they look like supporters of certain people,
right?
Because they'll just like play them off of the other person that they have beef with or something, you know what I mean?
It's the guy who comes to the concert and throws a water bottle at the guy on stage. He looked like he was there as a supporter. He's in the crowd, and then for some unknown, reason, he throws a fucking water bottle at the damn artist, and he has to stop the show and say, "What are you doing? Don't throw things on stage."
That's
what the guy wanted, apparently.
Everybody turned.
That's Trump said.
Him. That's why he threw that water bottle, because he wanted
the reaction.
Attention. He wanted that. Hey, look at me! See me? Woo! I'm here.
But that's what they think we're doing. So they think it's okay to do that. That's why they do it. That's why they do it so much in the comments.
I don't even know if they believe that, man. I get motherfuckers telling me, leaving comments or hop in a room when I'm on panel and will say something about, yeah, Joe, you're sitting waiting on that government check. You've been getting welfare from the government or some shit like that. I don't think they're really curious about that. If they were, they would have asked, hey, Joe, do you get any income from the government? When they do that, if they come in a room like that, or why'd you lie about this and that? If they come in like that, I don't think they sincerely even care about us. They're trying to start something.
Yeah. So that the attention will be turned, and then they can
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rights. I mean, it's just attention. That's all they're wanting.
Yeah, and as far as your theory of whether they're government agents infiltrating, I don't know, man. I don't think, but I think maybe your homeboy Trump said might be. That motherfucker looks like he runs Joe Exotic's zoo and then comes and fucks our shit up.
Fuck him, Carol Baskin.
Was he in here earlier and I missed that?
No. I just see him on that other guy's thing saying, We need more dirt on Rights Crispy. Look up his arrest.
Yeah, man, screw that guy too.
Get this done so we can.
Why are
like,
these
I
people
don't know.
so hard on for?
I don't know if y'all know the type of cat I am. Y'all probably do. But Trump really hates you guys. He chased down somebody I know. He got my number. He called to tell me how much trouble I was about to get in because he saw me taking a liking to you cats. And I'm not going to listen to personal business. So I literally had to cut him out about 46 times from trying to tell me y'all personal business. But Joe, I got to tell you this. When Roe was a kid, not interested. But do you know what Rights did? Not interested. Did you see the video? Not interested. He hates you niggas with a passion. He wants to set
what
you
work has
niggas
he
on
ever done?
fire.
You know,
what work has he ever done?
I think he's 4th generation cop, 4th generation military police or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and he has a following in this community, but only because, like I said, in an infiltrator way, bro.
Not much of a
and I
following.
just saw that when he met up with Keys and John Felix, I was just like, nah, dude, this guy keeps on trying to invite us to dinner. He's like, I'm gonna pay for dinner. I'm like, no thanks. No thanks, bro. Step back. And it turned out to be exactly like what I thought it was. He said he was gonna go to court for the veteran that we were helping, and he sold us out on that. He never went to that. Right there, he was dead to me. And then after that, I thought that he was the one who called, but no, he's right. It was that guy, Hot Rod. How the fuck do you know that it was Hot Rod for sure? Unless you were in cahoots with those people.
They probably talk.
You know, of course they talk.
Yeah.
You know, that's how he knew for sure. That's why he keeps on saying, oh, I know for sure it wasn't Gary's. No, it was Hot Rod. Okay.
He
How do you
stole a
know
bunch
that
of
shit?
money from
Fucking
Philly
weirdo.
News Now too.
Fucking weirdo, dude.
He
Get
stole
out of
all
here.
that money from Philly News Now, yo. He fucking ripped them off for a car. He couldn't get the. He paid
These
him
are
extra
facts.
money to try to get him the paperwork for the car because he came back to Philly, and then I was with him when he wired him the money. It's messed up, you know what I mean? Like he said, if I pay this guy $900, how can he not just make one trip here and one trip to the DMV, right? Like that's enough incentive, right? And I'm like, hey man, do what you want to do. I mean, like, and then he just took the money and ran.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, like poor Keys, man. He ran through. He's got a big ass settlement from somewhere, retribution or retroactive paycheck from the VA, and he was abusive. He's abusive with money. Now he's locked up. Yo, that dude's still locked up right now.
You know,
He's got
some people. I'd say this all the time. Some people, I hate to say it, I'm stuttering. I hate to say this shit so bad, but some people you just wish they never have money because it turns them into such assholes. Even shit that you consider little money would turn some people into some real ass wipes.
Like
Some
the
motherfuckers-
Murphys, Rick James. Fuck your couch.
That shit was hilarious. He got boots on in his couch. Fuck your couch.
Yo, something about Philly News Now though, man. I'll tell you this, man. This dude played his cards right. He bought his apartment. Every apartment, the 2 apartments he lived at that I knew him, he had paid like months in ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Like here's like all these months ahead of time. Like I guess he knew he was gonna get locked up sometime, but he knew when he got out that the rent was still gonna be paid months ahead of time. So
Who's watching his dog?
Pennsylvania's watching his dog. Apparently, he says he's still watching his dog.
That makes sense. What did he get popped for, and how come he been in there so long?
Bro,
He
the
was on
night
the
before
sidewalk.
he went in, he was threatening to do some stuff, and luckily he got arrested the night before his court
The
date.
night,
Let's
let me
just
say
leave it
like
at that.
That's
The
why
night
he
be-
got a
the
hold.
night-
He got popped
the night before he went to court. Yeah, the night before he went to court, he was
He went out.
saying he was going to go to court a certain way, which looks radical.
So then he went out with Pennsylvania, and the cops were there, and they were like, "Oh, leave him alone." And then he was like, "F you," and they're like, "Okay, take him to jail." And he went to jail, He's gonna be in jail for a while.
Wait, it couldn't have been nothing as simple as fucking cursing then.
No, it was more like threatening the cops. Like,
Yeah.
I
domestic
do this to
terrorism.
cops. I
Did
do this
y'all
to cops.
notice that he was saying that he had to do something to get a viral vid, and he was considering hitting a cop?
He was trying everything he could to get his viral video, but everybody can see through that when you try to do that. Why would anybody try
Yeah,
to?
and then don't let
do
any of
that?
that stuff discredit what actually happened with the car, bro. You know what I mean? That was some bullshit.
With the car, what Trump said was some bullshit. That was a whole other story. And you know what's messed up about the whole his arrest thing? Because that arrest happened like an hour or two after he had that live stream where he was saying he was going to do something stupid going to court, like because it's his right, and then Pennsylvania meets up with them and they went out and he was filming the cops going down the street from his house. I know which street they were on. I've been there many times in University City, and they say he threatened them. They allege he threatened them, but the one cop was like, "Oh no, he's just a jackass from freaking YouTube or something like that." And then he allegedly he threatened them some more in a way that isn't something that anybody would want to try to challenge in court. And they got him on it. And that was it. They hogtied him too. They hogtied his legs. Yeah.
They shackled my ass last time they popped me too, just to be dicks about it.
I saw the whole video. You see a part of it on Pennsylvania's channel, but he didn't want to use any of the other footage because it's not his court case to go through.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I understand that. Save that shit for court. I understand that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it a night. It was a good, what is it, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, I think we're there. I was just wrapping up some last minute shout outs. Sorry, just to say a new supporter. Sorry about that.
Take care, everybody.
But thank you guys so much. Joe Cool, Wolfie Glad,
Kamala Henderson.
Thank everybody in the chat for joining us for so long. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, next Tuesday we'll be here with
Save the Humans,
Eyes on the State, and Rogue Nation. We'll be hosting a free-form chat night. I don't know. I can't promise that they'll be on for 3.5 hours like we were, but you never know. And then Thursday night, we've got our interview night, and Saturday we've got our panel, our topic panel. So please join us. And I think who did I just see that said that? Somebody said, let's go raid Chuck's. Where was it? Right here. Cameras of Mass Destruction said it. There's 25 of you in here right now. Let's all get on
30 watching.
Oh, is there 30? Mine says 26. Let's all go to Chuck Bronson's
27,
page. Do a live raid. We'll all get in there and say that bang raid. We'll all do a bang raid. Bang raid in Chuck Bronson's page. So if you want to continue to support us, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Everybody go to Chuck Bronson's page and hit bang raid. Love to see you over there. I'm going to shoot over there now. Catch y'all later. Thank you so much, Finn. Rice Crispy. Sorry. We'll see you next time, guys.